like he's going to come on. He's not. You know, you look at Wilton Isidore. He's desperate for a goal.
Well, his last goal was Leeds, February the 17th. So he's desperate for a goal.
You know,
Get some sort of rhythm
and
there.
then you know you look at obviously get that midfield going. You know that trio in the middle of the park. Get that understanding going. Back four clean.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to another watch along with the MACKEM CABBIE.
You know that anywhere around the 18-yard box, never mind the halfway line, he's gonna throw the ball in. And one thing which we don't see a lot.
So first of all, I've got to say hello to David Green, member of the channel.
Ball, attack the ball.
Well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be frenetic, I suspect, from Oxford's point of view, from Kickoff today. We're going to hear from Reggie Slabreese in a second. We'll also hear from Mel Ray, because Sunderland women have a game at Bristol City tomorrow afternoon, and we'll have some more from Reggie Slabreese before Kickoff as well. But let's hear now from the Sunderland head coach, Reggie Slabreese. Reggie, can I start with...
Yeah, David Green, member of the channel. How are you doing? She's great lineup. Gonna win today. Trisha, good to see you, Trisha. This afternoon, CABBIE. I don't think Richie's on today. I think Richie is working, I think.
A little bit like getting an opportunity to rest him without having to tell him he's going to get a rest. In terms of players coming back,
Da, 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 da.
I'll go through them one by one.
Where are we? Hello to Packer Andrew. Hello to Richie. Trisha says squeaky bum time. D Hall. Hello, D Hall. Good to see you too. Greetings from Toms and Queens. Yeah, all afternoon, Richie. Simon, hello. Welcome. Viv73, hello. Ryan Jones, how are you doing?
Jensen sealed, is he? Available now. Yeah. Ideally, say. So Jan,
Afternoon, Jara. Tony, Dean, how are you doing? David Green, yeah. Greetings from Norway. How are you? How are you? Great lineup.
He's trying his best as well to be fit at the end of the season. If we can find a short window and with another player who can help, we'll try.
The feedback on the left, I'm not too sure. Richard, how are you doing?
Just the right time. You talked about Niall Huggins a couple of weeks ago.
Richard, how are you doing? This is afternoon, CABBIE and chat. I'm watching the game with me, so today. Decent lineup, and I can see the fee staying on the left for the playoffs too. Yeah, I know. I know.
Francis in its time. So he's a good guy, good footballer, but with 12 months competition, it's tough to recover your level. But we don't
Just
know.
talk to me for a second, 2 seconds.
It's still helpful to have this kind of players because he's a good teammate, and we don't know what will happen.
I mean, nice for you to have this problem of lots of players coming
We need
back.
Wilson
We've
Isidore to
talked
get a
about
goal today, like, don't
strength
we?
and
He
depth,
desperately needs a goal.
recently especially. Another
Desperately,
positive
desperately.
was, Joe Anderson on Monday, who I thought had actually not a bad game, coming in fresh to play left back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So early result today.
This period was
Coventry City lost today 1-0 away to Luton Town. Luton Town keep up their survival hopes. They scored a last minute winner on the 90th minute. They took the lead. They took the lead, the winning goal, and a player sent off for either side today as well. So if Middlesbrough win, they will close the gap on Coventry onto level points.
was positive for Joe as well.
So how's the mindset now in this sort of strange period when you're stuck in fourth, you're not going to go up, you're not going to go down, you know you'll be away in the first.
All right,
game.
CABBIE, great lineup. How are the lads?
What-
Says
what's
Aaron
your
Curl.
mindset
Let's get the
going
3
into the
points.
game at Oxford?
Ah, we need something, don't we?
So we earned this possibility. So proud of the team, proud of the squad, because it's a big achievement. And at the same time, with the core of the squad, we knew before that it was really important to go through this phase, the playoffs, to have as many players as possible available and fit. So
Durham Diver, hi Cabby. I've not tuned in for the last few games. I'm out walking the Camino de Stanco in Spain, so finished walking early to tune in today. Hopefully the lads will not spoil my weekend. Welcome. Good to see you, Durham Diver. Good to see you, mate.
With one game per week, I think we'll have a different dynamic. It won't be playoff game because the only one will be away a bit later, but probably we'll be closer to the right dynamic.
Total Sport Northeast.
On the station with Newcastle and Sunderland. Exclusively live.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Talking of dynamics, just been watching Lefay, Job, Isidore and Roberts doing some shooting practice against Blondie. I have to say Isidore's looking a bit sharp. So
D Hall, Isidore will have to go 90 minutes with no cover on
Hope
the
he stays
bench.
that way sharp.
And Lefay, again, how important could Enzo Lefay be to Sunderland?
Oh, huge, huge. I think what we've seen of him, you know, we go back to last week, you know, in the Bristol City game, even though he went down to 10 men, in that first 5 minutes, you know, he had 3 or 4 touches, and what you've seen of it was quality. And I think that's something which he brings to the team, and I think that is something which I think, and you feel confident going into the playoffs, that will be the difference.
Well, fingers crossed, nothing happens to him in the next 2 games.
Yeah, we don't want any more injuries. Crikey, do we? No.
Just a couple of games away from the end of the season. They've got
A lot of 40 people in
this
today.
Weekend, they travel down to Bristol. They face Bristol City women tomorrow, and I've been.
Tony
chatting
says,
to
for me, if
somebody
Regis
at Coach
Labrie knows
Mel
what
Ray.
he's doing, then it's a
Mel,
must for the
it's
strongest team.
this
Totally
strange
agree.
season that you have
Tricia
with
says, Richard
so
Stebbin,
many
enjoy the match
long
with your
breaks. I know
son.
a few players have been away with internationals and so on, but is it difficult to manage these sort of hiatuses in the season?
Yeah, I think it is difficult, but that's the circumstances that you know, fell on us. So we've had to adapt and come up with different strategies to keep the players ticking over. We've had 2 in-house games, so we have replicated some game time, which has been really useful. So
Tell you
the players
what,
are well aware
if
of
we're fearing
in terms of
playing
what we're
Coventry
going
City,
after
they
in the
were
next 2
absolutely shocking.
Does it have that sort of almost a pre-season feel about it? Because you stop and then you
They
have
were
to
absolutely shocking
themselves
today,
geared up
but for
for
some
those
strange
last 2
reason,
games
Coventry
and then
City
step
massively
Yeah, to be
raised
honest,
their game
the
against
players,
Sunderland. They just
first
turned
2
into
weekends,
Barcelona.
obviously, they did have a bit of
Yes,
downtime,
Richard, I
which
know,
is important
accepting
in terms of
anything
resting
less than a win
recovery.
today. I don't blame you.
But, you know,
Don't
they've been
blame you.
Monday to Friday, they've worked really hard.
David says, let's hope the men in
Gotta get a
black
balance,
behave
especially,
today,
you know,
being our
with 2
worst
games
enemy
on.
many times this
and
season,
also
even
come back
seasons
and get
beforehand
one
as well.
again, that to Bristol, it is what it is, I suppose. You just got to confront that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Like you say, we haven't played for a long time, and you know, we're looking forward to getting back on the grass, because the last time we played, it was a bit of a roller coaster of a game. You know, I was really disappointed with the first half, in particular against Charlton, and you know, the players turned it round in the second half, showed a lot more heart and desire. So you know, the messages are very, very clear going into the next 2 games in terms of what we're going after. So great game against Bristol when they came to Eppleton last time. 2 good teams are going to go head to head, so you know, we're looking forward to it. We're excited.
I mean, clearly you want to go in and win the last 2 games, you want to end on a high, but is it also an opportunity to give some of those sort of younger upcoming players opportunities as well? Because you've talked about, you know, some of them have got very bright futures. This is an ideal scenario in some ways to give them first team.
In the freezer for me,
I
please.
think we've got to get the balance right. First and foremost, we want to win the game and you know, finish the season strong.
Ice cream van's just come. I'm getting tricked. It's going in the freezer. I'll have it later on.
Kind of the off season and next season, so I think the balance is important.
Alright, no bother, Richard. Have a great stream today, Mara. And I'll catch you all on Monday. Are you working today, Richie, or are you out watching the game somewhere?
As you say, full squad.
Good afternoon, member of the channel as well as Richard, and member of the channel is Ken Walton.
In the camp this week, so there is a kind of cut-off period for that in terms of 48 hours. So the deadline's tonight, so people need to stop being sick by tonight, and they might be on the bus on Saturday. So we'll just wait and see.
Give a shout out to Trev, who donated to the channel earlier on today. Thank you very much for that.
Quite confident with all the
Massive,
players, so
much appreciated.
We'll go there, and the big bonus is Alna Dale's back. Alna Dale's fit, so she'll travel on Sunday.
I was going to say,
Still got a weird feeling to it, hasn't it?
she's just picked up the Supporters Player of the Year award.
Still
as well.
got a weird feeling to it, these games.
Great for her to get a couple of games just to sort of get back in the swing of things.
Yeah, it was always going to be pretty close in terms of how how the first kind of part of her rehab tailed out, but Hayley, our physio, and Ross, our performance coach, have worked really hard with Elna to get her back, and she's trained for the last 2 weeks.
Another big game for Carlisle today.
This week, so
It doesn't matter what Carlisle do, because if thanks for the subscriber already. Cheers. If Tranmere win, Carlisle are out of the Football League.
BBC Radio
Touch and go.
Newcastle.
Touch and go.
Melray and Sunderland women's last game of the season is next week at home against the bottom club, Sheffield United, but Bristol City away.
Hello to the
tomorrow
61
afternoon. Stadium is,
people.
slowly filling up here. I think it probably will be full by kickoff. It holds around 11.5.
Strange ground is Oxford United.
There won't be many behind that goal.
There's no stand behind the goal on one of them.
Traffic, cars, but no supporters.
It's the feeling is if Oxford stay up, they will be probably the smallest club in the Championship. Though talking to my colleague from here, he was saying that if Wickham come up, then that accolade will probably fall at Wickham's door. The Wickham Wanderers would be the smallest club in the Championship. So I mean, a lot of that's down to the fact they only get 11,500 here because they haven't got any more capacity.
That's right. It's interesting.
Hello, Devon Mackham. How are you? Good to see you. Trisha says, I think it's because everyone is feeling downhearted about that atmosphere. It's flat cabbie. Yeah, I know.
The pitch has not been watered, which is unusual.
Tricks of the trade.
A few tricks of the trade.
Have to mute it because of the music playing. Can't have any music playing. Naughty, naughty. Result from earlier in the Premier League is Chelsea 1, Everton 0. Everton lost today. I'm going to open the window in this conservatory today. It's really clammy. Not a breath of wind at all. Just setting up the clock timer so people can see how long is going on the game. But we'll put that back there and we'll sort that out when kickoff is here. QPR 0, Burnley 5 is another full-time score in the Championship. Burnley really showing authority, aren't they? And in League 1, full-times are Bristol Rovers 0, Reading 2, Leyton Orient 1, Wickham 0. And League 2 full-times, it's Port Vale 2. Sorry, it's AFC Wimbledon 0, Port Vale 2, Doncaster 2, Bradford City 1. And 2 minutes to go in this game's Harrogate 1, Notts County 3. No, you enjoy yourself, Richard, mate. You enjoy yourself. I'm hoping that I don't swear today, says Trisha. You'll be fine. Michael Taylor, good to see you, mate. Good afternoon, CABBIE and everyone. Let's hope for a positive start and momentum building. How are the lads? You need to stick the clock up, CABBIE. Yes, I will do. Obviously, when kickoff comes, I'll be putting the clock up so you can see how many minutes is being played. So that's not a problem at all. Well, 3,809 subscribers. It'd be great to get to 4,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Oh, to have 4,000 subscribers would be amazing. Richard Newton, how are the lads from Ken Goppy and Kumar at the port in Kuwait? Welcome, good to see you, Richard, mate. What have you got? What's this? So you're getting a parasol put up this weekend? Oh, I got my trusty water. David Jackson. Good to see you, mate. This is 5-0 today. Score prediction, Cabby? Oh, I'm going to go for a... I don't know. It's just so difficult to predict because of the fact, the nature of the game and where Sunderland are. Oxford fighting for it, I don't know. I'll go for a 2-0 win Sunderland. 3-0 win Sunderland. I'll stick my neck out. Stick my neck out. Graham Jones, good to see you. How are the lads from a very rainy Campbell Slang? Jacqueline Copson, good afternoon. Jacqueline, good to see you as well. Excuse me. Tricia says, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, Tricia. And Cameron says 3-1 to the lads. I'll take that.
As they just peel off their tracksuit tops, Patterson in goal, Hume, Mepham, O'Neill.
As you can see, I've got the team scrolling along the bottom. Aaron Curl says 3-0 to the lads. We've certainly got a good squad. A good team there. Just I want Easy-Law to get a goal.
Jamie Cumming in goal. Back four of Sam Long, whose family and he are
David Green ready to go. How are the lads? Watching live as I am Norway.
And in comes the Jamaican.
I'll have a nice one. Of course.
Will Bork, Welsh international, who's got the long throw. Cameron Brannigan alongside of him. And then Brimislaw Plaheta. Ruben Rodriguez.
Right, let's get the clock set up.
Behind striker Mark Harris, who replaces this afternoon Tom Bradshaw. Bradshaw's not involved today on the bench, but Josh McKickren comes back on the bench for Oxford United this afternoon. So they make 4 changes and Sunderland make 6 changes, and the captains just having the coin toss. Brannigan and Dan Neal. Neil striding back to join the huddle in the middle of the half in front of us.
And Michael Hood, good evening, morning, afternoon, whatever. Good to see you, saying 3-0. David would do need to show intent. ALS, good to see you, mate. Good to see you, Jennifer. Good afternoon, Cabby. I would be happy if we scored, to be honest. Yep. Keith Lupton, good to see, says we need a big one. We've got 100 people in the chat, in the watching already. Amazing balls, thank you.
Someone said that whilst in the past this stadium's always been seen There's a bit of a
Sunderland are in their
in the championship when it's full.
white
it's
and
actually proved to be
greenish, bluish top away, the FA Cup 1992 top they played in.
Not at all. As I said, it's different, isn't it? Especially with nothing behind the goal.
How make the fans proud, says Tricia. Heidi, good afternoon. Heidi, how are you? Kyle, how are you? Good to see you. Can do a sound check. Can everybody hear me okay? And is everything sounding all right?
And now break down this left-hand side. Goodrum, edge of the penalty area. He's still going. Humes trying to put a foot in. Goodrum.
Hello, Sarah. Good to see you.
Edge of the 6-yard box, and finally stabbed behind by Luke O'Neill for a corner.
So straight away,
Oxford.
they're getting out the blocks. Oxford. They've got a corner, and there's only seconds gone.
They got the ball down this left side quickly, didn't they?
Sunderland's kickoff.
Yeah.
Sunderland's kick-off and Oxford have got a corner.
Comes down on this left-hand side to take the corner kick, the first of the afternoon. 4 Oxford players stay outside the penalty area. A lot of jostling. The ball put in low, very poor corner, but it wasn't handled very well by
Isidore
Joe.
hat-trick, Michael. You're watching from Haggerson Castle. Nice part of the world.
Post by Goodrum.
Yeah, less sounding good. Radio Newcastle a bit low volume.
Big lad. Ben Nelson, 6'5".
I'll tweak it up a little bit. I can't have it too loud
in the 6-yard box
because I can't just have it pure commentary in the background.
Driven
William
in,
Wall.
And back it comes to Goodrum on this left-hand side. He's trying to come in past Patrick Roberts.
Shout out from Fuerteventura, listening to the lads. How you doing, William?
Lefay chases it out, but Brannigan puts it back inside again. And now it's finally cleared, and chasing back onto it is Plaheta.
It's really weird seeing that stand, and there's no stand. You just see a car park.
Out to Cameron Brannigan, who's really the key player for Oxford United. They're desperate to keep
David
him
Jackson
fit.
says, Cabby, maybe if you get time, could you not have a talk in during close season? What do you mean, David, mate? What do you mean by that? Could you not have a talk in during close season? Tony Riley, hello mate, good to see you, Tony.
Patterson in his green retrieves the ball. Oxford in their yellow.
Paul Heron, good to see you, mate. 2-0 to the lads. 2-0 to the lads you're going, eh?
Sunderland's fans over in the stand on the far side. They've got 1/3 of the stand, largely bedecked in their red and white striped tops. The fans this afternoon. The ball put out by Patterson. Kicks it straight out into that stand opposite us here. And
long throw.
I've got to say hello to Stephen and Janet, Seaburn Retros. They're listening in Mallorca this afternoon.
Lovely, nice and warm.
Hello to both of you out there in the sunshine on your wheels, freewheeling as the ball played into the penalty area. Nelson's up there for Oxford United, but they've got the ball clear again, Sunderland. Here's Brannigan in the Sunderland half, just forwards of the centre circle, trying to find Lee down the left wing. Comes back then to Goodrum, looks for Greg Lee, puts a first-time ball into the penalty area, but Joe runs onto it.
Andrew Moose says, can't hear you think you had a kid's birthday party. Andrew's another member of the channel, thank you.
Right-hand side here now to
Trisha David Jackson, that's a good idea. All right, yeah, absolutely.
Joe gets it to Isidore, then out to Lefay, in the middle to Rigg.
Yeah, we will be carrying on, don't get me wrong about that. And if anybody else wants to join us on the chat on video and join in, you're more than welcome to. Carl Wingfield, a member of the channel, good to see you. Hello guys, finally made it. Pixelrich, good to see you too, mate. Greetings from Turkey. I am 2 hours ahead. If that's the case, you'll know the full-time score with Sunderland, eh, Pixel? Oh, Kyle Q, yeah, absolutely. If you want me to carry on and do chats and stuff, I certainly will. Yeah, David Jackson could have a talk in where we could just have a conversation during the close season. Yeah. Like I say, you're welcome to join us on the channel. On video, if you want.
Plays it back to Nelson, and Nelson, the low knee,
the more the merrier.
Plays it back inside to Brannigan, who swings the ball wide right, halfway inside the Sunderland half. Kjelder flicked it off the head of Plaheta. It's a throw to Oxford.
Long throw.
It is
And
two-thirds
this is where, you know,
of the way
for me,
inside the Sunderland
Patterson's
half.
got to command his box. He's
So
got
for
to
the
be big
first
and
time,
strong.
we're gonna
Fisher,
see
you
Will
wouldn't
Hawks
scare the listeners away, man. Look at me,
demonstrate his
crikey.
long throw. A couple of teams have dealt with it well this season, a few others haven't. And the referee's seen what? Pushing in the penalty area. He's asked for the throw to be taken again. We got a hint of what was to come though, because the ball dropped pretty much onto the penalty spot from Will Vaughan's first attempt. The referee's
You can
had a
command your
word.
box here, Patterson. Don't get blocked in. Come and take it.
Mark Harris is right on Patterson. Vaux then again, second attempt, hurls the ball into the 6-yard box. Mepham heads it out, Isidore heads it on.
I mean, we've got
Drops back
the
down to Goodson,
women's
put it back in the penalty
Euros
area.
as well.
There's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Players fall down.
In close
O'Neill
season,
and
so-
Hennick, but the referees let it go. Brannigan drives a shot in, a great save by Patterson. Palms it away for a corner.
Good save.
Anybody
That was a good
is
attempt.
lovesick for football or homesick for
By
football, then we
Brannigan.
have the women's Euros.
Well
So.
done, Patterson, turning that run round for a corner.
That
And
was
again,
Hennick-
we've got
that
to
was
Still
come
more
Hennick with
football
the
to be
top corner by
played.
the looks of
Yeah.
things.
Thanks for the subscriber.
So a
Thank you
third
very much. I
extra
need
corner.
190 more
Nelson
subscribers
are
to
the
hit
two main headers there.
Yeah, they're the
4,000.
two big ones. Helix 63.
Janet, good to see you. Janet, you alright? How are the lads?
Gudrun's gone across.
Hello,
to take this
Tony.
corner
How
from
good
the
to see you. The Packer Andrew says, do you think the 6 changes made by our manager will help us
right-hand
today?
side
You would
this time
think
in
so.
front of the
But Oxford are going to be up for
fans.
this because they're
Hangs it high
really
in the
wanting
air.
to
Isidore
stay
heads
up,
it out
basically.
fairly comfortably. Comes out to Brannigan. And back to Will Vaux in the middle. He shoots, it's over the bar.
Big shout to the
crashes into
177
electronic
watching. Thank you
scoreboard
so
behind
much.
Patterson's goal, and
David
Patterson
Jackson
gets it
says,
clear.
smash the like and
Quickly,
subscribe.
Looking for
Thank you
Isidore
very
on the
much.
break here. He's away, he's into the penalty area, but Hellick
Oh, he's
just
got-
shoulder barges him off it.
You've got to be
and puts him
stronger.
behind for a corner.
He's got to be stronger, hasn't he? I think. It's a great kick
A
by
great
Patterson.
kick by Patterson to see
He's got to be
Isidore
stronger.
away, but he was knocked off the ball fairly comfortably by Michael Hellick. Mikael Hellick.
Come on, Isidore. We
29-year-old
need you to get that goal,
Polish
mate.
international. Corner then from the right-hand side. Patrick Roberts with this. It's headed at the near post away by Oxford, straight out to Chris Rigg, who drives it back in with his left foot. A half volley that sails wide.
And the ironic
Goal.
cheers from the Oxford crowd tells you
0-0
that's gone nowhere
in the
near.
8th minute of the game. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Red kites circling the stadium. There's about 5 or 6 of them just floating about on the thermals. It's a pretty warm afternoon, sunny spells, bit of cloud, but very pleasant here in Oxford as the ball headed on through the middle to Luke O'Nien, who nods it down to Dan Neal. Dan Neal slips it to Joe.
ALS
on the
Cassim
halfway
Stadium is a
line,
garden
out to
shed with a
Lefay
side
on
missing.
the left-hand side, taking on Sam Long. Will Vaux cuts across
Looty,
as well,
good to see you,
and
Looty.
Lefay
Good
plays
afternoon,
out to
Cabby.
the
Hoping
right
for something
to
positive.
Trey
We
Hume.
desperately need a
Hume
win
has
of some
Roberts
sort. Yeah, especially
wide.
for the
Roberts
fans
now
about
with
us.
Greg Lee just in front of him.
Devon
And he
Mackham,
plays
but the
it
car
across
park looks
to
full.
Luke
Wonder if they
O'Nien,
get
just to the
charged
left
for
of
watching the game.
centre
Oh, they will do, won't they? You
Forwards
would
to
think.
Lefay. Back onto halfway to Mepham. And Mepham now to Hume on this right-hand side. A block by Goodrum and a throw for Sunderland on halfway on the right-hand side. Hume will take this, and he's got Roberts, he's got Rigg.
Okay, Packer.
He needs some help here, really. He finds Rigg eventually, who drives it right across the pitch, and Hjelde has to come back and pick this up and slip it inside.
He needs to be a bit
Luke
stronger,
O'Nien.
Dayhall.
O'Nien now
Excuse me.
just dribbling up towards halfway, finds Dan Neal on the halfway line. He plays it wide on the left to Lefay. Joe makes a run. Lefay comes back though to Dan Neal on halfway, and now in the centre circle, plays it to Mepham. Mepham on this right-hand side.
I love my
to
weekends off
Hume.
work.
Hume back to Chris
great.
Mepham, and Mepham under pressure from Mark Harris will play the ball back to Anthony Patterson. Patterson with his left foot drives it out onto the left wing.
it's a batter.
Hjelde heads it back inside to Neal, back to O'Nien. And
51
O'Nien,
likes already. We're halfway there
on
to
the
hitting
left,
100.
his
Thank you
own
very much,
midfield.
everybody.
He's got 3 Oxford players pushing towards him. He's just taking the ball backwards at the moment.
Jack Reed,
O'Nien.
good to see
They're
you. How you
finally
doing?
Finding a gap for Job on the left wing. Lefay just ahead of him. Job's taking this on. Job's still going down the left of the penalty area. Corner of the penalty box. He
Gary Hall,
lays
good to
it
see you,
off
Gary. I have as well, mate.
Sam Long is in front of him. Lefay slips it to Dan Neal. Neal just outside the box. plays it to his right to Hume, out
Cheers,
to Roberts.
Jack.
And Roberts now, Lee in front of him again. Roberts slips it inside again to Rigg. Rigg curls the ball into the penalty area and looking for Joe. Joe brings it down, Plaheta stabs it away. Will Vaux has it, plays it back behind him, and it's driven upfield by Sam Long.
I had a celebrity in me taxi yesterday in the name of Keith Lemon.
Rolls it out.
Believe it or not.
09. Rochdale 1, Hartlepool 0.
Good
Here's
afternoon,
Luke
James.
O'Neill
Good to see you
again.
this
0-0
afternoon
here
from
at the
Patagonia.
Kazan Stadium in the 11th
Don't have good
minute.
record against
Live
low
on
league
BBC
players,
Radio
team, says Doug.
Newcastle.
Good to see you, Doug. We don't.
Mepham
Scott Williams, good
behind
to
him
see
is
you, Scott.
Patterson.
You alright? He says, good afternoon, Cabby.
Patterson
Listening
across
to you sitting on the
to
beach
Luke
on
O'Neill
Costa del
again.
Sol. Thank you so
Sunderland
much
there, all
for
white.
listening and tuning in.
Away kit.
Couldn't do it without
There's
you
a
lot.
challenge on the touchline, which in the end, Plaheta puts the ball out. And a throw
Black on my
to
head.
Sunderland, which will be left for Hjelde to take. To Job, back to Hjelde, plays it back down the touchline to Luke O'Neill, across here to Mepham. And Mepham on this right
James B can't either comment. I'll turn it up a little bit. I can't have it up too loud
Harris has tried to make a challenge,
because
but Mepham's held him off.
in case I get
And
done
now
for
floats one
copyright.
up through towards Wilson
But
Isidore at the edge
you
of the
should be able
penalty
to
area.
hear it in the
Headed
background.
out to Lee, inside to Vaux, and Will Vaux hooks it back into the Sunderland half. Eventually drops for Dan Neil, and he tries to find Hume, which he does. Brannigan's left on the deck.
Matthew
And slipped
Bowden,
through
good to
by
see you.
Hume to Roberts and Rigg, but Rigg loses out to Greg Lee.
Connor Andres,
And,
good to see you.
Greg
Says, how are the lads?
plays
And he
it
says,
down
can I have a
the left
shout
wing.
out, please? So we're going to
Over
shout
the
out
shoulder
to
of
Noel
Chris Mepham.
Andre.
Mark Harris whips the ball off him though, and now trying to slip inside, rolls the ball to the edge of the area, but Goodrum's touch is a poor one.
Chris
And it
Minton,
rolls
hello,
in
how are you?
to the path
Good to see you as
of
well.
Luke
Hello from
O'Neill
Japan.
to get clear.
God, we've got
Rodriguez
international
about
people
to
in the channel today.
Sheffield United 1, Portsmouth 0. There's a foul on halfway.
I don't think it'll
Chris
be
Rigg,
Sheffield
who's
United, Nick
crouching
Barnes.
on
I
his
think it'll be
knees
Sheffield
on the
Wednesday because they
halfway
played last
line.
night, Sheffield
Mark
United.
Harris run the ball off Chris Mepham. It was Ruben Rodriguez who whipped in, but hit a touch. It led him down, and in fact, I've got a funny feeling that's probably his first touch
Welcome
of the game,
back,
which has
Packer.
been one reason for that. Mepham will take the free kick. Boston 1, Gateshead 0. 0-0 here in Oxford. Brannigan's been spoken to by the referee Tim Robinson. Mepham still waiting patiently to take the free kick. Gary Rowett, arms folded in his technical area. In fact, that actually might be the fourth official. Indeed it is.
Paul, good to see you.
Regis
Member of the
Leprice
channel, Paul.
stands
How are you
with his
doing?
hands in his pockets. Dan Neil in the centre circle.
Your trick didn't
Slips
work.
it
No,
to
it didn't, Packer.
Luke O'Neill. O'Neill down the touchline. It's played by Lefay. Back to O'Neill. Forwards to Dan Neil on halfway. He's fouled. The referee's let play go on. He's played the advantage. Neil's got the ball back again. And drives it out to the right wing, looking for Hume, who nods it in from the touchline. There's calls for it being...
Oh, that's a free kick.
free kick.
That's got to be a yellow card. It's a yellow
Goodrum is
card.
being shown a yellow card for that. He pulled him back.
Dial
at the
Gamer,
corner
good to
of the
see you,
penalty
mate.
area.
Speaking of celebrities and taxis, I remember when I worked the
yellow card of
minibuses
the
picking up
afternoon.
Jordan Pickford and his mates up in Washington. Wish we
Hume
still had him
pulled
now,
back,
I know.
free kick just on the
Michael
corner of the
Atkinson, good to
penalty
see you.
area
No
on the
injuries or
right-hand
sendings
side.
off. I'll be happy tonight. Keith
14th
Lutton
minute, 0-0.
says Plymouth fighting. What, the crowd, or is it
Robertson
the
Lefay over the ball.
the players fighting?
Dan Neil adjusting his shoelaces. Anthony Patterson's out here on the touchline having a conversation with Alessandro Bacciarini. Brighton 1, West Ham 0.
Good delivery. That's what
So
you need.
2
here.
in the Oxford wall. This from the right-hand side. Who will take it? Roberts or Lefay?
Quality. That's what you're looking for.
Referee's ready. And it will be Lefay who drives
Great
it
ball.
in.
That's a
It's
great
hooked
ball.
over the bar by Will Vaux. It was a very good ball, and
tell you,
Joe
BF20, good to
as
see
well.
you.
Yeah.
He says, can I have a shout
Could have
out,
gone
please?
anywhere,
Yeah.
actually, that,
So shout
all
out
due
to
respect.
Beth and Chip, new Sunderland fans. Hello,
Vaux
Beth and
got,
Chip. Hope you're having
his
a
foot to it ahead
lovely
of Joe.
afternoon.
And it's a second
Yeah, I'm well. Hope you
Sunderland
are well
corner
as well, BF.
from the left-hand side. I think Lefay is
All
taking
right,
this one.
the 1-0 up. I thought you were-
Southampton 1, Fulham 0. A lot of movement in the penalty area. The ball whipped in, headed away powerfully by Ben Nelson. Picked up by Chris Rigg, back in the centre circle to Dan Neil. He gets it forwards to Patrick Roberts, who's looking for Rigg down the right. It will bounce in towards the corner.
Tricia, thank
he just
you.
keeps it in. It's done well. He puts a cross in the box.
Oh.
It drops through to Sam Long on the right side of the 6-yard box to hook clear. And that, well, just needed someone to make a,
I don't know if
make a run.
Did it catch Wilson by surprise, do you think?
I'm not
know.
sure. There's a great ball back in. Rochdale 1, Hartlepool 1. 0-0.
So what do you think about Wilson
Mepham
Isidore? Do you think
leaves
he's
it for
just
O'Nien.
saving himself for the
O'Nien driving this
playoffs?
up
Or do you
towards
think he
Isidore,
generally
the edge of
has
the
dropped
penalty area.
massively in
Headed
form?
Clear, only to Jobe. Jobe turns away from Vaux, gets the ball to Lefay, back into Rigg at the edge of the D. Yellow shirts all around him, and Brannigan comes away. And
Absolutely,
is
Carl.
fouled.
Totally agree.
Free kick to Oxford.
Thank you, Tricia.
Brannigan
No
went to take it
problem.
quickly. Rigg was just stood in front of him. So Nelson, Ben Nelson, I think he's going to leave it for the goalkeeper, Jamie Cumming.
Hi, Tricia. You should join us on the chat shows, man. If you've got a
Preston
camera or
0,
anything,
Plymouth
join
1.
us. Join us on the show.
Plymouth enjoying some late
You'll enjoy
form,
it.
probably too late.
It's
Preston
really good.
not out of trouble themselves. Like Oxford, really need a point to confirm their place in the Championship next season.
245 watching.
Ball
Hit the
drops
thumbs
for
up.
Hugh.
Hit the subscribe
Plays it
button
back to the
if
halfway
you
line.
are
Alec
new. Thank you.
Cole plays it out. Throw to Sunderland on this right-hand side. We're in the 17th minute now. No goals here yet. Patterson's pulled off a very good save early in the game. The ball comes back to Luke O'Nien in the corner on the right-hand side. He plays it into Patterson. Harris goes to close him down.
Isidore not on
Patterson
form.
drills it
Need
out down
Jamie
the left
Vardy.
wing. Hjelde
I'll
keeps it
take
in.
him.
He's tapped it on now for Lefay to run onto. Lefay taking it round the back of Hellick and slipping down the left of him into the penalty area, rolling it to Hjelde on the goal line, trying to pull it back. But it's a goal kick.
I don't know.
Defender on his shoulder.
Was Hjelde expecting that?
Not sure.
I'm going 2-0
break.
Sunderland
Lefay
game. Carl
trying to
says
get round
Isidore
Hellick
only
and
had
tried to
one
wrong
good
foot
game
him.
where he scored 2. Other than that, he's been packed, he says.
Here is Hellick on the right side of the 6-yard box. With the ball
Keith
in
says,
deep,
just had
taps it
another look at
back
the
to
table. Plymouth
Cumming.
need to score about 17 goals between now
Cumming.
and the end of the season.
Many
Has
people that
Nelson out
Sunderland
wide
starting
left.
to get a grip of the game, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've strung 1 or 2 passes together.
The ball with Hellick again across to Ben Nelson, the 21-year-old. He drives
Come on,
up
Tricia,
onto
don't
the
be
head of
scared.
Gudrun.
1-1
Harris
pool,
through
says
the middle.
ELS.
Mepham has to get the ball, nods it down off him.
Big
but
shout
in
out
comes
to Dill
Rodriguez,
Gamer
finds
14.
Plaheta at the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side.
He said he subscribes.
And he
Thank you, Dill
brings it
Gamer.
back out into the middle, leaves it for Vaux, who plays it down
Help
the
relegate
right-hand
Oxford,
side
says
again to
David
Rodriguez,
Jackson.
inside to Plaheta.
Any news
and
on
back to
Sunderland
Vaux,
coming
and
up
then
on
out to Long,
Jamie Vardy
back
coming to
to
Sunderland, Cabbie?
Vaux
Well, I'll
on the
soon let
right
you know if
side.
it does happen.
Drives the ball straight at Lefay at the edge of the penalty area on the left. And Lefay,
Gwen,
he's trying to
how you
dribble
doing,
around
Gwen? Good to see
Rodriguez.
you. Says Wilson seems 5 seconds
And it's won back
behind
by
everyone.
Oxford, but Harris couldn't control
John
it when it
73,
came
best
to in the
wishes,
penalty
Cabbie.
area.
All by
And
yourself
Sunderland
today.
got it
Think we'll
clear.
win today after
Now
dodgy
with Dan
start.
Neal in the middle. Leaves it
Tony
to Lefay
says
on the
Isidore
left-hand
gone downhill
side.
since signing
And he
permanently.
chips it
To be
up
expected
the
as he's
left-hand
bound to
side,
relax,
looking
but I
for
think
Joe.
he'll lift himself for
Headed
the
away by
playoffs.
Hellick,
Well,
though.
yeah, he
Comes
has to,
back.
doesn't he?
Hjelde caught the Oxford player. I'm not sure who he is at the minute, but the player was trying to go round Hjelde, who blocks him. Thinks he's fine, he's sitting up. Boston 1, Gateshead 1. It's Rodriguez.
Got 66 now likes.
So free kick to Oxford on
Come
the
on,
right.
246 watching. It
Third
takes
of
a
the way inside
second
the
to
Sunderland
click
half, a couple of
that
yards in
like
from
button.
the right-hand touchline.
And you
Carl
know
says,
that,
I
you know,
just
the
take Marley out for a walk,
consistency
back
he's got now.
second half.
So-
Alright, Carl, no bother, man. Yeah,
Sunderland
Isidore
got
does need
their
a goal,
players
does
lined
Michael.
up
Doug B,
just
very
outside
too
the
old for
penalty
KLD.
area. A good 20 yards out. The free kick will be taken by Gudrun. Whips it in towards the penalty
Good
spot.
header.
Hjelde heads it out. Greg Lee will run onto this, nods it back to
Tired.
He tries
early
to drive
today.
it in, comes off Dan Neal, bounces off Gudrun out to Lee, or Alf Nelson out to Lee, and back out into midfield. Plaheta trying to find Gudrun, but he plays it straight to
Oh, that's a bad
Hjelde, who
clearance.
couldn't clear it properly, slipped over as he did so. Lee on the left, but it's whipped off him by Patrick Roberts.
Yeah, Vardy could do a
Hume,
job.
and now Neal
Oh.
gives it straight to Brannigan.
Stephen Hill, good to see you, mate.
Brannigan
This is hi,
to
Cabbie Stephen
Rodriguez, corner of the
from
penalty area
Australia,
on the
visiting my
left.
sister in
Gudrun
Spain.
trying
Nice to be able to
stab
listen
it
to you one day.
to
Like,
Plaheta,
yeah,
but
thanks for
straight to
tuning in, mate. I
Lefay.
do
Lefay
appreciate
lifting
it.
it up into the Oxford half. Nelson's there with Wilson Isidore.
He certainly does know where the net is, Janet, doesn't he?
Straight to Chris Rigg on the right wing. And Vauxhall
Manchester
stabs it
United
out
Dill Gamer.
for a throw to Sunderland, just inside the Oxford half.
Can't see it, but
Isadore's movement's got to be better. You know, at times they're looking for that outlet.
Well, with the bench that they've got today, it looks like he's going to have to play the whole game, isn't it? 'Cause
Isidore looks as if he's like just getting a bit lazy. It's like he's expecting the ball to be played to his foot rather than making good moves to receive it.
Job down the left wing, down the left of the penalty area. He's tripped by Will Vauxhall, who's furious. He felt Job, I think, was looking for that. But the referee was only 10 yards away and has given Sunderland the free kick.
Afternoon, Fernie, and congratulations on promotion to the Premier League, mate. Good to see you. Knew you would do it, mate. Knew you would do it.
1 or 2 good runs.
But you must be pleased.
Getting behind.
SCFC, Gaz, hello, mate. Good to see you. It's honestly lost almost interest. It's taken my strength to tune in today. If we play crap again, then I'll check back during the playoffs. There's a few people do, SCFC, Gaz. They really do. They've been a bit disheartened. Michael Atkinson says, TalkSport reckon Vardy's off to Wrexham.
Into the 6-yard
Wrexham?
box for this free kick. 21st minutes. Waiting for our first goal. And it looks as though
Wrexham could be the ones to watch in the Championship, you know, if they do get
the
promoted.
referee's happy now.
Quality ball
It's left for Roberts to chip in. And he comes down to Rigg. His shot is blocked, though, by a Oxford player right in front of him. And that player is on the break now, but the ball has come back to Dan Neil on halfway. It was Brannigan. Has come back to Nelson. Slips it inside to Vauxhall. And Vauxhall on down the left to Brannigan, who's caught by Roberts. Free kick to
Vardy not good enough, he's too old, says Fernie.
on halfway. Wide on the left. Brannigan back to Vauxhall.
Who are you playing today, Fernie? Or you play tomorrow?
Brannigan again. Still on halfway for Oxford. And the Oxford captain plays it back to the Welsh.
Wow, a
international
massive
Will
273
Vauxhall.
watching
Swings it out
today.
to this left wing to the Jamaican
Big howdy
international
doody to
Craig
all
Lee.
of you.
Trying to bring it down is Rodriguez, wins the throw. Ruben Rodriguez, 28 years old now, former Notts County.
Another long throw.
Midfielder. And Vauxhall comes across here to take, as you say, Benno, another long throw.
I'm just yawning because it's so cosy in this conservatory and I'm nice and relaxed.
The referee's just ushering Vauxhall.
Doesn't make any
back to where he
difference,
wants,
does
And there's nothing
seems
at
a bit
stake at
pedantic,
this
that,
game,
bearing in mind
really.
how
It's sort of
far
sit
he
back
can
and
throw
put
the
your
ball.
feet up and just
He
watch
could
it,
probably
can't
throw
you?
it from the halfway line into the penalty area. And so Vauxhall comes forwards with this throw, hangs in the air above the penalty area, off the head of Mepham, out to Roberts, looking for Isidore, but drops for Plaheta. His shot blocked by Rigg. It'll bounce across on the far side to Hellick. He's battling with O'Nien down the right side of the penalty area. O'Nien blocks it. Lefay runs onto it on the touchline, skips away from Hellick. The ball's gone
Vardy
out.
has too much baggage.
As he won the free kick, actually, he's been
Trisha
clipped on the
says,
ankle by
I think there's still life in the old dog, Vardy.
He's just crouched down at the moment. Rochdale.
He's better than what we've
2,
got at the
Hartley
minute
for
up
a
front,
while.
I think.
Carrying on.
They carried on. They haven't taken the free kick. They've just carried on as though it's normal. The referee hasn't bothered.
The feet was still on the ground.
And Mepham's gone down now. He's picking himself up. The ball's played out to Goodrum. And a tackle by Hume. Comes back to Mepham, but the whistle's gone because the ball has gone out for a throw to Oxford.
Oh, you've got Bristol City Monday and party after the game.
0-0 still.
You sure? Yeah, that'll be a good game, that, because Bristol City are wanting to play for everything for the playoffs.
Lee takes the throw back to.
Who you think 2-1 Dill
Nelson.
game at Sunderland? Michael Atkinson forgetting
Cross to
potential
Hellick.
just based on their form last
Sign
3
from
months. How much
Huddersfield
do you
in
reckon Job and Wiggle
January.
worth?
Mikhail Hellick played on down that right.
I would say Job would be worth more than Rig because of his name
Comes
as well.
across the middle, plays it then to Ben Nelson. Nelson just pushing it onto Goodrum, challenged by Dan Neil. A bit of a hack at him by Rigg, but he gets the ball
14
back
million,
to Nelson.
15 million Job.
On to Lee on this left-hand side.
8
Hume
million Rigg,
tackles
9
him.
million Rigg.
Joe beaten to it by Plaheta though, and then Rigg wins it ahead of the pole. Finds Lefay just at the edge of the centre circle, leaving it for Hjelder on the left-hand side now.
come
Back
on,
to
man.
Luke O'Nien. Back again to Patterson. And Harris has just clumsily crashed into Luke O'Nien. O'Nien just picks himself up. The ball back with Patterson again. And Patterson in the D. just passing it out.
He's
where he
totally,
was going to pass it out to
Isidor's
Mepham,
totally
and he
isolated
finally
out
does.
on his own out there. Like every
Makes
time he
his
makes a
mind
run
up.
forward
Mepham
through the centre,
on this right-hand
he's just
side,
crowded round
closed
by
down
loads of Oxford
Rodriguez,
players.
back to
He's not going to get anything.
and across on the left
Not going
side.
to get anything like that at all.
Movement's got to be better. He's got to make some runs, hasn't he?
He's making runs, but he's not running into any space.
And he's not.
Cabby, can I ask you a favour? Give my little cousin a shout out, please. Oh, hello to Packer Andrew's cousin. How are you? And he's full of calls, so hope you feel better soon, Christopher.
Now trying to find Lefay down the left wing, and in the end it's Sam Long who finds him.
Fernie says, watch Sheffield last night. If you turn up against them, you'll batter them.
Who crosses, he stayed onside. Roberts is trying to get
They
on
were
the
poor
end
when
of
we
it,
played
Lee's
them
beaten him
at the
to
stadium.
it.
I like Fernie.
On the left of the penalty area, the Oxford left, and he gets it clear up to the halfway line. Harris challenged by Rigg, doesn't get the ball. Brannigan does, and then a foul on Brannigan. And Brannigan has shoves Rigg.
I still think we'll play Coventry
Rigg
City in the first legs of the playoffs. I do think we'll play them.
Sheffield United 1, Portsmouth 1.
But if you wanted to get to Wembley, or if you want to get into the Premier League, you've got to do everything you can, and you've just got to break that hoodoo, and you've got to beat Coventry City. There's no ifs and buts about it.
Penalty area to O'Nien, and now across to, of course, Sheffield United played last night, didn't they?
Yeah.
Winning at Stoke. The ball drops to Joe, but a free kick on the far side, halfway inside the Sunderland half forward.
Do not want Vardy.
Yeah.
Surely there's better players out there, says Gary Horan.
From Will Vauxhall.
You just feel at times.
Oh, I love me pizza packet. Absolutely love me pizzas.
You know, with the passing, just a little more urgency.
No, he took a shorter throw this time to Plaheta. Then he puts a cross in Vauxhall, headed out by Hume to the edge of the area, and Harris volleys it over into the car park.
Well, the way we've been playing, I couldn't see us battering a Mars bar or a sausage. Deal Gamer, yes, I live stream every Sunderland game, mate. Paul Campbell, almost certain we will play Bristol City in the playoffs.
Event traffic management staff have run to catch the
Old strikers can still do a job. How old was Quincy? He says.
Tops and luminous orange trousers. Struggling to find it by the looks
Paul,
of it.
they are. They're playing 60% sensible precaution or lack of motivation.
Halfway, laid off to Brannigan in the middle. Floats the ball down the right, headed away by Hjelde to Lefay. Joe's making a run.
You'd like to see Vauxhall score an own goal.
Rodriguez, in fact, a foul.
Must be hard for the players though.
A
You
yellow
think
card for the Portuguese.
they're coming out and they know there's like now to play for. Hello, Trevor Coleman. Good to see you, mate. You all right?
In the book.
They're making the mark, aren't they?
Physical. So the free kick is a third of the way inside the.
So no,
box,
really
wide on the left.
clear-cut chances of
Tapped by
anything for
Lefay to
Sunderland at the
Hjelde,
minute.
And Hjelde pauses.
28 minutes gone. We've not really done out.
Joe to Neil in the centre circle. Neil to Mepham just to the right of the centre circle. And Mepham taking it on, slipping it to Patrick Roberts and Hume. Roberts trying to get it inside to Rigg, but Lee has managed to dig this one out for Oxford. Back up into the Sunderland half. It's an up and under.
Yeah, Gary.
From Luke O'Nien.
Talk about Niall Guinness.
He's headed away from Dan Neil by Will Vauxhall.
He knows where the net is, Jamie Vardy.
Mepham's all over him, and it's a free kick.
Oxford scrapping for championship survival, says D. Hall. Yeah.
3, Hartlepool
Bush
1.
Camprose can't get the match on telly, so just watching this.
Harris feels
But
that
can he good? Hey, cheers,
Mepham was
Bush.
fouling
Welcome
more
along,
than
mate. Give us a
referees
subscribe
given.
if anybody's new as well. I do appreciate that as well. Thank you.
He's indicating
Welcome,
he was
Bush. Good to
kicked.
see
I
you.
think
Good to
he's
see you,
trying
Revo 23. We don't seem to be
demonstrate.
making much inroads, even with what appears to be our strongest. No,
Vauxhall with the free kick.
it's just
Floats into
pre-season
the
stuff.
penalty
Isn't it?
area, and a good header in.
And there's
Ben
the.
Nelson. You warned that Ben Nelson was a threat.
There we go.
Gets on the end of that Will Vauxhall free kick and heads it into the bottom right corner.
Yeah, free header. But again, for me, Nick, you've got to command your box, innit? The ball's in the air a long, long time before Nelson's come and headed it in. I just think, could Patterson come and get it? Could he come and punch it? But saying that, who's ever marking him has got to challenge him.
That was shocking marking, that, like.
And that's what we talked about, you know,
marking.
we've been giving away easy, simple free kicks. We said that.
Well, it seems anybody can beat Sunderland at the minute. Anyone. Could this be 4 defeats on the trot?
That's what Luke
Heaven's
O'Nine's was
sake.
saying to Patterson. You've got to come and get the ball.
So Oxford United take the lead just short of the half.
That was
hour
pants,
here.
that, like. That was absolute
You've
pants.
got to command your
6'5",
box.
Ben Nelson heading it.
Got to be
past
stronger.
Patterson.
I tell you what, I hope this is a ploy from Regis Labrie, because I tell you, if this is what we are going to play like from the
1-0
playoffs,
then.
then it's
Oxford
good night
lead.
for Vienna. We'll just haven't got a cat in hell's chance. Carlisle 1-0 up here, Les.
Looking to
Oh,
try and get
wow.
back as soon as possible down the left of the Oxford penalty area. Lefay goes down on the edge of the area, but no free kick. Plaheta is bringing the ball out for Oxford, but progress is blunted on the halfway line, and Sunderland trying to get the ball forwards again. Down the left-hand side, they win a throw.
You can't
Here's
keep
some of the
giving
comments
away
online.
free kicks.
We are
That's
so
their
poor, says
strongest point.
Andrew.
We
Ian
said
says
that.
no
We
chance in
mentioned
playoffs. Lost it
the
all
likes of
together.
Pelly
It was coming,
and
says
Ben
Luke.
Nelson.
Christian says
Joe to Gelder, plays it
not
back
getting through these playoffs like
into
this.
the
Always said
Sunderland
never
half
rest your
to
best players because they'll
Patterson.
come out of form.
Now to Mepham.
Playing with
And
10 men again with
drives
Rig in
it
the
on,
team.
looking for Rig. It was
Shocking if
much,
you've got
much
any
too
chance. If you think you've got any chance in the
far this
playoffs
pass. It's
in
gone
this
behind
form,
for a goal
deluded.
kick to Oxford.
A lot of fans are saying we can forget the playoffs.
just
We
need
can
a
forget
little
the
bit more
playoffs.
intensity. It just seems a lack
Are the
of
fans
pace at
panicking, do you
times.
think? Or have they got a right
We've got
to be
just
start getting a
under
bit
quarter
concerned
of an hour
here?
until half time.
It's like, come on, son, and the fans need to see some sort of
That's their
fight in you. You know what I mean?
You know what their strongest points are.
Here's Walks
Carl
laying
says
the ball
never
off to
been.
Hellick.
I've been in
Hellick
support for 30
out
years,
wide
never
then
seen
to
the good
Plaheta.
time.
He pushes it on to Rodriguez on the halfway line. Neil trying to win it back.
The Sunderland haven't
Lefay's there
even
as well.
done anything.
And, in the
Not
end,
a
Lefay
thing.
does come away with the ball, but he loses it. Rodriguez looking for Harris. He
Pathetic.
just overhit it. Back to Anthony Patterson, who rolls it to Luke O'Nien, just outside the Sunderland penalty area, and wide on the left to Leo Hjelde. Hjelde back to O'Nien. O'Nien across here to Mepham. Wide is Hume, of course. Here he is now. Slips it on to Roberts. Back to Hume. Drives it down the right for Rig, but beaten to it by Ben Nelson, who slides in. Concedes a throw to Sunderland.
Yeah, Tranmere are 1-0 up, so if Tranmere win, it doesn't matter what Carlisle do. Carlisle could win 7-0. Carlisle will be out of the Football League because they'll be still 4 points behind with just one game to go.
Carlisle 1, potentially a massive goal for Carlisle, but it looks like it could go to the wire. It could be all over them today if they can't hang on to that lead at Cheltenham. Here's Hume. Hume under pressure from Goodrum. Hume comes back to halfway and then slips it into the middle to Luke O'Nien.
Fernie says, could understand if you had rested some of your star players, but you fielded a decent team. Fernie, they're just not up for it, mate. They've got this pre-season thing and they're just not.
Him in the corner and let the ball run out behind. And
They're just taking it
shoulder
easy.
passes
That's the
the
only
fadeaway
thing I can
for the goal
suggest.
kick.
Because the talent that we've got on that pitch, they're not that bad. I'm telling you now, they're nowhere near that.
Cummings goes back to retrieve the ball.
Ah, dear me. Sloppy, arrogant, not one decent
Brings
performances,
it back to
Ian. I
the
know.
centre of his 6-yard line, then throws the ball back to the corner of the 6-yard box for Mikhail Hellick, who taps it back to Cumming. Closed down by Isidore. He kicks wide left, looking for
Cheltenham's
Lee.
just
Drops
equalised
over
against
his
Carlisle,
and
so
Hume's shoulder
not
for a
very
Sunderland
good
throw
there.
on halfway, which Hume will take.
Brand
back
Gaiman,
to
good to see you, mate. Good to see you. How you doing? David Surtees, good to see you as
Rolls
well.
it across to
He says, not going to
Luke
survive the
O'Nien.
damn playoffs with this, are we?
O'Nien
Ah,
back
no,
to
no,
Patterson
no.
in the D at the edge of his penalty area. Back out to O'Nien on that left-hand side. Oxford leading 1-0. Here's Jobe again. Back again to the edge of the area to Luke O'Nien. And O'Nien, 35th minute now to Jobe.
So far we're
Joe
going 1, 2,
pushing
3,
it on
4.
down the left.
If this stands, 5 games without the win, 4 defeats on the bounce.
Inside to
I'm
Jobe
sorry, like,
again.
but even though you've got
And,
nothing to play for,
Then Back
This
out
isn't good
to
enough, is it? It's
left
just
wing,
not good enough.
inside to Dan Neal,
for
looking
the-
for
for the
Isidore
playoffs.
just outside the penalty area.
For
It's in the air.
building the fans'
Isidore
hopes
trying to
up.
win
It's
it.
just
Manages
not
to
on
get
at
it
all.
down to Lefay on the left edge of the penalty area. He plays it back now to Hume.
It's disgusting.
Just outside the box, puts a cross in, and it's headed away by Hellick. Comes down on the edge of midfield to Lefay. Out to Hume again on the right. He slips the ball through to Rigg on the goal line. Pulls it back. Isidore tries to swing his right foot at it, but it's blocked. Just in front of the goalkeeper.
Well, what's
And
the
cleared by
supporter
Oxford.
supposed to think?
All the way back up to Luke O'Neill now.
Oh yes, hello
Inside the
Geordie Groundwater.
Sunderland
Good to see
half.
you, mate.
Leaves it for
It's
Patterson.
just copy,
Patterson
eat, sleep and repeat with
closed
Sunderland at the
down by
minute.
Harris.
New
Luke
prediction, he
O'Neill
says
again,
3-1
forwards
Sunderland,
to
says Chris.
Neil out on the left to Hjelde. Back again.
Yeah, I hope
to
it's good to see you, Geordie.
O'Neill. And now to Mepham. And Mepham bringing it up to halfway. He's got
So what do you
Roberts
think? Is
just ahead of
Regis
him.
Labrie
He's got Hume wide. He goes
doing
to
this on
Trey
purpose
Hume
with his
on the
team?
Right touch line. Hume cuts
Or
inside
I
again.
would generally
Goodrum goes with him. Hume
really
plays it
just
across
pants?
now
Do
to
you know what I
Leo
mean?
Hjelde. And down the left of the penalty area again to Lefay.
Diane
Lefay
says,
comes
hello,
across the
hello
back with
Diane,
his
good
right
to see
foot.
you.
Drives it over the bar.
It says, hi Cabby, agree with you, not good enough.
Cheltenham
Cirkin
won,
and Brown
Carlisle
need to come
won.
on, says Maureen.
The foot of League Two. Carlisle have to win to maintain any hope of remaining in the Football League. Goal kick then for
Michael Atkinson,
Oxford
can they
United.
just flick a switch and start playing well in the
Hellick
playoffs? I don't
places
think
the
it
ball
works
on the
like
right
that, although
corner
the
of the
intensity will be
6-yard
100% as
box. A
opposed to these
hazy
games
afternoon now
with
here
nothing to play for.
in Oxford as Isidore goes to close down. Cumming
Unacceptable
gets the
in
ball
any
away
league, says John.
down the left-hand side
Rico
out
says not one
for a
player
throw
short of best
to
team.
Sunderland.
What about me and Sunderland? Ballard. Viv
Oh
says
boy,
I feel sorry
hurls
for the
ball
fans
at Trey
travelling.
Hume.
I
Hume
know that.
takes the throw back to
A bit optimistic says we can get 3 goals, says David. Fernie says, what's your take on Labrie? Do you want him
O'Neill.
next season?
O'Neill.
He's a class above
Got,
everybody else,
Rodriguez
Fernie.
just in front of him,
He's
plays
head
it
and
to
shoulders
Lefay, who
above
gets it
everybody
back
else.
again from
But
Neil.
we're only going to get Lefay
And then
if we
Lefay
get promoted,
tapping
I
it
think.
back to O'Neill.
Diaz is good to see you, mate.
to
Hi
Neil.
from London.
Neil
Manager
near
needs to
the
go. He's useless,
centre
says
circle,
Packer.
back to O'Neill and out to Hjelde. Looking to play
Jeff
it down
Bladen,
the left
good to see
wing.
you. He
Sam
says
Long
they
brings
all
it
want
down,
to play in
clears
playoffs.
it
Probs
in
why
front of
there's lack
Joe,
of 100%
straight
in
to
effort.
Enzo
None of
Lefay.
them will want to
Finally
pick up
comes down to
injuries.
Dan Neal trying to get it through to Isidore. One back by Oxford. Rodriguez back to.
But does
Hellick,
that mean you've
who
got to
gets it
get
back to
beaten
the
every
goalkeeper,
single
who
game
comes
before
to the edge of his area,
before the end of the
taps it
season?
out to Ben Nelson,
Like, what's
the goal
left? You have to
scorer.
lose every match.
And out again to Nelson on this left-hand side. Swings his left foot through it. It comes into the Sunderland half. It's put out by Hume for a throw on the Oxford
I like to
left.
see it as this tactical play by Regis
For the home
Labrie. Just play
team,
absolutely awful,
Wrigley.
and teams will think we're going to be a
But on
pushover.
Fronek, It's going to take this. No, he's not. He's waiting for Vaux to come up.
If we play like this, first leg in the
Presumably
playoffs,
will
it'll be
be a
game
long
hour.
throw. There's
Believe me.
nobody really Goodrum's across here, but
If he
although he's
won't
half
stay up, we
looking
don't
at
go.
Goodrum,
That's right, Jack.
Vaux, so now he's decided to step back a few yards. So I think we are going to see another
Tony
ball
says we
hurled
can't seem
into
to
the
score even when we get the ball in
Sunderland
the box.
penalty area.
There's no
In the
urgency or
38th minute,
intensity,
in it
Tony.
comes. Up goes Nelson, but
Howard,
it's
good
headed
to
away
see
by
you.
Mepham.
Nowhere is this
Isidore
team wins the
heads it out,
playoffs.
drops straight
Sell
to
what we can,
Paheta.
try better. We'll
Plays
be
it
in the
back
championship next
behind
year.
him
Anyway,
to Brannigan. Across
Trisha
to
says,
Goodrum.
therefore, I
And
do
then
not
down
want
his
to
left-hand
just
side to
agree.
Vaux again, who's swung
Jack
the
Reed
ball
says
up
he
towards
won't
the edge
stay
of the
if you
penalty
don't go up.
area. Lee leaps for it. O'Neill nods
Doug
it back to Patterson.
KLD was getting worried that he'd have to put some money out.
2, Gateshead 1.
Ian Wilkinson says it's
39th
down
minute,
to
it's
crap
Oxford
players, man.
1,
Job,
Sunderland
Rigg,
0.
Neil in
Dan
midfield
Neal
have never
from the edge of the
dominated in
D,
one game yet.
Plays the ball out to Hjelde on the left-hand side.
Cardiff looking
Hjelde
doomed. Trevor
just,
Coleman says, Fernie, I
plays it
can't
back
believe fans are
to
saying Farke to be
Patterson,
sacked.
passes it out to
Fernie says
Mepham.
that was
Mepham
BS. Trevor, Farke hit a
now
stake at the club.
plays it back
Good
to
manager,
Luke
Farke.
O'Neill
Rico
at the
says,
edge of
would
the
anyone take
penalty
Farke
area.
from Leeds? He's not going
Cumming
anywhere.
actually hasn't had a save
Well,
today.
Tony
I just
Hutchinson
was gonna
says,
mention that, Nick.
if we don't
As
get
much as
promoted,
we,
how
at
long will
times play
Reggie
nice,
last?
It's too nice, isn't it? We haven't worked the goalkeeper.
No, he hasn't been. There was one block a few minutes ago by a defender, but the keeper's
Sunderland
not
fans
actually
they should
been
just
stretched
get on the coach,
in any
come back
shape or
home,
form.
because this is what you're going to
by
get for 90
Sunderland.
minutes
Here's
today.
Hume.
Millwall 1-0 up.
Goodrum, it falls to Harris. Harris inside to Rodriguez, back out to Goodrum on the left-hand side.
creeping
He
up towards the
shakes
playoffs,
off
you know.
Hume, he shoots over.
Tell you what, with lackadaisical, Nick.
Ipswich have had a player sent off against
You know,
Newcastle. So you think it'll be 3
we
points
just
for the
look-
Mags there?
I don't know, lethargic.
Oh, dear me.
Haven't won, of course, since the
So Millwall
1-0
now
win at
a
West
level
Brom.
on points
A lot of
with
people,
Coventry City on
when looking back at
66
that game,
points.
say, well, to be honest, the keeper should
They're
have done a
just
lot better from the free
below
kick. So
Coventry on goal difference only. And Millwall's done well.
a run of games which
1,
Sunderland,
2,
well,
3,
as you say,
4,
you just
5,
can't
6,
flick that
7. 1,
switch.
2, 3, 4, 5. They've
Neil
won 5 out the
to
last 7.
Hume
Could
on
be
halfway,
6 out the last 8 if
Mepham.
they win today. So they're really knocking on the door for the playoffs.
Off him, he's just trying to. He's looked a bit winded, doesn't
Keep
he,
going
Joe?
on
He's
about
bent
Coventry,
double
but
for a moment,
Millwall are knocking on the door.
taking his breath, getting his breath.
And you
back.
know who's in
Here's
charge
O'Nien in the
against
centre
for
circle.
Millwall as well? That would be
Dan
iconic,
Neil,
wouldn't
who
it?
just rolls it to O'Nien on the left on the halfway line, then wide to Lefay. Oh, he's given the ball straight here to Rodriguez through the middle. Dan Neil's trying to come back here. Rodriguez still going, and then he runs into trouble and still manages to find Goodrum behind him. And then Vaughn.
Alex Neil,
and out on the
Millwall
right,
manager,
it's played
coach.
back eventually
Do you really want to play
Hellick on the
Millwall?
centre spot, and then Nelson on halfway, closed down by Rigg, and Nelson gives the ball away to Roberts, looking for the run of
It's gotta
Isidore,
be a
but comes
better ball.
out to the edge of the area.
That's what we're talking about, you know, timing and getting minutes under your belt, making the right pass.
Hume heads the clearance away from Oxford to Neil, through the middle now, Rigg on halfway, drives it straight at Ben Nelson.
God, this is awful. Like, sorry for people.
Roberts
I
has
mean,
to jog back
276 people still watching.
Right wing
Thanks for
position
still
where he was
tuning in.
hoping to get
Because this is
the
just
ball from
absolute
Rigg.
dire dross
Brannigan
from
in
the
the middle
team.
of the Oxford
95
half for
people have
Oxford.
liked. Thank you very much.
Just passes it to Hellick. Oxford leading 1-0, of course, in the 42nd minute.
Hit the
now.
subscribe button if
ball
you knew.
floated
Help me
down
get to
the
nearly
right and headed
help
away
me
by
get to
Luke
4,000
O'Nien,
subscribers
straight
if
to
you
an
can.
Oxford player. Walks forwards to Rodriguez.
Oh dear me.
Gelder tries to win it back. He does
Jack
so
Reed
and
says, I
finds
just don't want
Joe,
Sheffield
but
to
the
go
ball
up
is,
so while they
an
can spit his
optimistic
dummy
one.
out.
It's gonna
Millwall 1-0
reach
up, yeah.
anybody.
Donald,
It reaches Lee.
hello Donald, says,
And
what's
then
wrong with
passed out
Isidore?
by Nelson back out
This
to
is as
Lee.
good as mine. What's wrong with
on
the
left
team?
wing, and he drives it forwards into the
It's going to be
Sunderland
2-0
half again,
to
looking
Oxford
for
at this
Mark
fed, says
Harris,
David.
who's pushed slightly by O'Nien, but still retains possession.
All Sunderland are
Slips it inside
doing
to
when they get
Rodriguez,
possession,
through the legs of Mepham, who blocks him. Free
they're just
kick.
hoofing the ball upfield.
to
They're just
Oxford.
hoofing it upfield. They're not even attempting
I
to
think Harris
build
is trying to say it's about time you book
an
Mepham,
attack. They're just launching it upfield all the time.
and he is booked. I think he
It's too easy, you know, they
ran
look
out of
sharper
lives
than
then.
us.
Revo
Yeah.
says, hating on Regis LeBrie right now is utter madness. He's being a breath of
So
fresh
referee
air in
speaking
reality. We need
to
to accept
Mepham.
where
Too
we
easy.
are, understand and
Sometimes.
protect and get on board. You'll be able to
Free
judge
kick to
Regis
Siamo
LeBrie by the playoffs
outside
as
the
well.
penalty area.
Because you can't tell me
midfield
where
on the
this bad
left,
with the squad we've
Brannigan
got.
in
I'm
front
sorry,
of
like
us.
it's utter bollocks. Yeah, almost half time.
Leading through that, 29th
No
minute,
shots
Ben
on goal. That's disgusting,
Nelson
Doug.
Header.
David says we ain't winning
And,
anything
now-
this season. This team just isn't good enough.
Brannigan, Vaux.
Viv says glad I didn't go.
Around the ball at the moment, but I think Vaux
Packer
is gonna-
says, Cabby, if you were managing now, what your
North is having a
thoughts would be going
conversation
through
with
your
the
mind?
captain.
Well, all I can
Tim
say is
Robinson
Regis
comes
LeBrie's
back.
just saying, done it where he
The
lads.
referee all in black this afternoon.
There's
Tim
nothing to play it
Robinson
for. That's what I'm
has a quick
thinking of.
word with Brannigan. I think it literally was
Fernie
a
says
word.
we're hoping
Flaherty's
for a
come
couple
across
of wins to
join
get
this
momentum for
little
the playoffs.
meeting.
I don't think we're going to get anything from today, Fernie. I don't think we'll get anything off QPR either.
Brannigan looks the prime
I honestly
suspect,
believe
if you like,
they're just saving themselves.
You've got to stay together with the wall.
situation.
Stay
And it's
together.
stabbed to Brannigan, right foot slams
Keith
it
Lupton
past
says,
the
I heard a
post.
rumour that this was the game when we switched back on.
It's a goal
Well,
kick.
we might switch
to
back on, but there's no fuse in the box. Put it
Sunderland.
that way.
A kick from Patterson. Up onto the
Jack
head
Reed,
of,
Oxford
Nelson.
definitely
He heads it
wanted
back
more.
over the
Sunderland, the
halfway
club that
line.
keeps on giving, says the
It's headed
Ferret.
on by
Tony
Lee.
Huntington, Regis LeBrie,
Hume.
often wrong
Oh,
tactics.
he's passed it back here and trying to get across to it is Harris.
Trisha Fernie, I was
Mepham,
hoping
I think that's
too.
it out for a
That
throw.
pass just sums Sunderland up in this first 45 minutes.
NM
Nick.
says there's pride to play for. You would think, wouldn't you?
We're sloppy. We are. We're not at
44th
the
minute.
races.
It's going to be another long throw from Will Vaux here. Back, no, in fact it's not. He's gone back to Goodrum. And Goodrum swings the ball into the penalty area, headed out by Lefay. It'll drop to Brannigan in the middle with Plaheta. Plaheta, Isidore goes to close him down. Back to Brannigan onto the
I
halfway
mean, what do
line
you
then.
expect the
Hellick
Sunderland to feel
swings
like?
it up
The
straight
fans,
to Hume, now to
really
Joe.
good, they're all saying
And
playoffs,
Joe
no chance.
looking
The way
for
we've
the
played the
break on
last
the
3
left-hand
games
side
and
for Dan
today
Neil.
so
Brannigan
far.
blocks him free kick.
M8 Ian,
Sunderland,
good to see you, mate.
just
How are you?
inside the
He says hi,
Oxford
Cabbie and
United
everyone.
half on the left-hand side. In the last minute of the 45,
Reeve, yeah, I'm
Maybe
not
a minute,
saying
2
we're.
minutes
He
added
says
on.
we've been good either. By the way, he's been really
here's Mepham.
this.
Leaves
It's been
it to
awful, mate. I mean,
Hugh.
you've got to
Closed down
speak
by
what you've
Goodrum,
been
plays it
seeing,
back
and it's
to-
been
to
absolutely gash.
Patterson.
As a matter
He
of fact,
puts
it's
his
like
right
nearly
foot through it, not
relegation
pressure
form.
from
This, I think, Sunderland about fifth off bottom in the
Isidore
form league.
managed to head it down
If
to the
not
edge
nearly
of the
rock
area,
bottom
but
if we
Hellick
carry on.
hooks it clear.
So that'll
And
be
it'll
good,
come
wouldn't
all
it?
the way
Go
back
rock
into
bottom in the form league,
Sunderland half wide on the left.
going into the
to
playoffs.
Luke
Because if
O'Neill.
we lose against QPR
O'Neill
and we
across
lose
to
today, that's
Mepham.
5 wins
Here,
on the
Mepham.
bounce.
Hume to
5
his right,
5
plays
defeats
it
on
to
the bounce.
Trey
So
Hume on this right-hand side.
rock
That's
bottom
just
in the
about
form league,
the 45.
going into the playoffs. That's
Played.
great, isn't it?
Roberts tries to come away with the ball here. Roberts with 1 minute to play. The edge of the area is tackled by Lee, and then tapped out by Hellick to Vaux, and then to Goodrum on this left-hand side, who sweeps it out.
Peter Harvey, I
The
would
throw
take
to
his
Sunderland
Hadji.
with 40 seconds of the minimum minute left at the end of this
Just
first
feel sorry
half.
for the fans.
Hume
That's
will
gone down there. It's
take
just
the throw
absolutely
to
awful,
Dan
isn't it?
Neal, back to Hume, across on the far side to Hjelde, on to Joe, but he had to stretch, and Vaux gets the ball off him fairly comfortably. Forced to Plaheta in the middle, trying to win it back is Hjelde.
The Sunderland
Paul
fans
digs
have
it
just
out
not made a
and
sound.
finds
There's
Nelson
no to get excited
on
about
to
for them at
Goodrum
all.
on this left-hand side, and Goodrum now, Hume just in front of him, he gets it on down the left-hand side to Rodriguez. Mepham's on his shoulder, Rodriguez inside to Brannigan. Harris loses out to O'Neill, and that's the minimum minute played. So we're into a second minute of added time. It comes up to Job, and there's the half-time whistle.
Well, thank God that's over.
Oxford will head in at the interval,
That was
leading
just
by a goal to nil.
to be expected, dare I say.
I have to say, you're absolutely right
Billy
about
Fly,
Sunderland,
hello Billy.
that they aren't at the
It's here to
races
see
in
it.
so many ways. But then the other
This
side of
is
the
a
coin is
sour
Oxford
gonna-
have something to play for. They're playing for their championship survival here.
Yeah, they're playing for championship survival. Nick, we're playing to get ourselves prepared to go into the playoffs. Now, if that's not an incentive, what is? You know, you've got to go out there and put a shift in. You've got to do things quicker. At the present moment, as you've just mentioned, you know, yeah, Oxford are playing for their lives.
Yeah, well, Gary Bennett just said there, we've got to put a shift in. But what if we put a massive shift in and get injuries? It's just such a catch-22, isn't it? Let's run down some later scores. It's half-time. It's full-time. Chelsea 1, Everton 0. Half-time, Brighton 1, West Ham 0. It's later score. Newcastle 0, Ipswich 0. Half-time, Southampton, who's relegated 1, Fulham 0. Wolves 1 against relegated Leicester 0 in the Premier League. Goodness knows what the fans are thinking when they're down there. I'd love to know what the commentary's like. Hello, Green Web Network. Good to see you. He says hello, Cabbie. Love from Indonesia. Greetings to you. Hello, greetings to Gwen Hartley. Good to see you. He says I've done nearly all the aways this season and was at Bristol. I'm pleased. I am stayed at home. I've stayed at home today. Yeah, I bet you are. I think it's hard enough just people staying at home watching it, to be quite honest with you. David Walker says, very poor. Really need to wake up second half. Every player shocking, says Ian. Paul Heron, could be worse. Could be West Brom. Oh, they have hit the deck, haven't they? Richard Stedman, hello mate, you alright? He says, terrible performance yet again. No pressure, moving the ball too slow. Do we even have a strike on the pitch? Isidore is poor. 11 games, no goals. And this could be his 12th game with no goals, I think. Looks even worse today. We're just going through the motions. Everybody's just going to keep on saying, aren't they? We're saving ourselves for the playoffs. Oh, Cheltenham are now 2-1 up against Carlisle. I think it's good night Vienna to Carlisle. I think they will be playing National League football next season after taking the lead. And they're 2-1 behind. It was a massive ask for them today, Mike, because Tranmere were winning anyway. It didn't really matter what Carlisle did. if Tranmere won. But it looks like a game too far for Carlisle United. Oh my God. Hello, Colin Major. How are you, mate? Good to see you. This is absolutely useless. Glenn. Hello, Glenn. Good to see you. Hi, CABBIE. When is Dan Ballard back? I'm not too sure. Anybody new on the channel, mind, hit the subscribe button if you can. Thanks. It massively helps. And have we hit 100 likes yet? Let's have a look. Let's refresh the page. Ah, we've hit 100 likes. Thank you. You're all gems out there. Green Web Network. CABBIE, what's your address? I have a gift for you, my friend. Well, don't give me address on here, but I'll give you my email address. I'll type it up. Email me that, mate, and I'll email you the address. But thank you very much. You've got a gift. Very kind. If it's a good gift, or is it a blow-up doll? Don't know. What could it be? David Walker. Southampton lost 3 or 4 games, but still won playoffs last season. Look. We just got to see how the playoffs go. That's all we can say. But you can't blame the Sunderland fans for being really concerned at the minute, the way things are. Richard said, where is the new plan from Regis? Sorry, we are not getting anywhere in the playoffs playing like this. Revo, no problems, mate, says Trisha. Fernie says, I think this season is your best chance of promotion. Need to get back on track as early in the season you were one of the best footballing sides. Fernie, yeah, we were playing some superb stuff, mate, until the injuries cobbled us. And I think, Fernie, you hit a little bit of a blip, didn't you, near the end of the season, and you were all worrying, but you turned it round because Sheffield United lost 3 on the bounce, and you've done it in style. So, like I say, congratulations to Leeds again. Scott Williams says, worried heading into the playoffs, wrong mindset. If it affects the players, they've got no chance. But like I say, if you flip the coin and go on the opposite side, what's the point of playing hell for leather and beating Oxford? Where's it going to get the team? They're not going to regress or progress any further in the league. So what's the point? That's the other side of it. Does Sunderland know how to score goals, says Peter. Ballard back for QPR, Richard. Is that right? God, I just hope he doesn't get injured, Ballard. Howard Steele says there's a younger scoring goals for fun in the under-21s. Can we not give a go? David Green says, gift of the gab, says David. He's basically saying, CABBIE, shut up. I agree, but this is beyond bad, said Trisha. Colin Major, we have no chance. John 73 says, lost for words, CABBIE. Ben Rowland, we need to play better in the second half. Tony pipes up and says, just seeing the stats, pass more backwards and spent more time in our own half. They've just got no urgency. Last time we were in the playoffs, the fans actually believed in the team. This time, no one believes due to recent performances. We're really poor. Green Neb Network says, how come you're allowed to steal the BBC comms for the game? Seems a little dodgy, mate. Not stealing it, mate. It's in the background, and that's why I talk over the top of it. I've done it for 2 years, and if it was illegal, then YouTube would have stopped it well before now. But that's why it's a watch-along, and it's in the background playing along. It's not just pure commentary. But I'm going to be... messaging Newcastle at the end of the season and see where I stand. As far as this game goes, says Reva, it's only half time as it stands. We're playing a team with something bigger than us to play for this starting 11. Tricia says, what will Regis Labrie say if we don't turn up for the playoffs? Because I'm sick of him. Greenweb Network says, you're clueless. I don't know who that's named to. Fernie says, get that, Stuart, if they had said to players like Job, Lafay, etc., go away for 2 weeks and sort your heads out for the playoffs. Well, like I say, time's ticking, isn't it? It's going to be the playoffs soon. We'll soon find out. We'll soon find out. Clueless Cabbie. I don't know what you're on about, Greenweb. Stephen Hill says, what's changed since the start of the season? Excuses. We are dire. If we win the playoff finals, then we stole it. Peter says, it's a coincidence that we have been terrible since Dodds left. My gift is being rescinded. I don't know what you're on about. Yeah, he's looking like a spam, doesn't he? He looks like Greenweb Network is a troll. We'll see how he goes. Don't believe in the team anymore and the manager. That's to you, Cabbie, apparently. Greenweb either spam or troll. Okay. Good luck then. Off you go. Do whatever you need to do, mate. You just troll somewhere else because there's no anybody can do. See you later. Brian Hughes, can't see things getting any better. We have been playing and sitting back game nearly all season. This is not why I pay my money. This is not entertainment. Block him, Cab. He's gone. I can't be bothered with people like that. He let him go and spam another channel. There could even be another rival Sunderland YouTuber because I've had that before. They don't like it because I'm getting a lot of the views. You know, that has happened before where rival other channels are not happy. But let me get on with it. There's nothing they can do. Audio commentary. There's nothing you can do about it. I just had a voicemail. I think that's from a customer. If there's anybody wanting a taxi, then it's tough. Because I'm working.
Have 7 new messages. First new message. Received Thursday, April 10th at 5:41 p.m.
Hello, I'm after speaking to Bangladesh Barney, please. After a special curry with a tailbit on top.
To return the call at your normal call rate, press hash. Message deleted. Next new message. Received Tuesday, April 15th at 6:41 a.m.
Mr. Curtis, it's Mr. Rahman, my specialist to offer for you. Buy 3 pairs of dirty, smelly, stinky pantyhose, and you get 1 Capri's Easter egg free with a nice
Message deleted. Next new message. Received Tuesday, April 22nd at 6:51 a.m.
Mr. Curtis! Mr. Rahman here. Yes, you know it. I thought I'd give you a call today after a very special weekend. We had a special guest. Captain Curtains came to the glory hall yesterday. Unfortunately, he shut it down because he shut his load. In 3 seconds, the girl didn't even give him a sniff of his pantyhose.
Message deleted. Next new message. Received Tuesday, April 22nd at 9:07 a.m. Message deleted. Next new message. Received Tuesday, April 22nd at 1:38 p.m. To return the call at your normal call rate, press hash. Message deleted. Next new message. Received Thursday, April 20. Message deleted. Next new message. Received today at 3:57 p.m.
Oh, hello. I'm trying to organise transport for next Saturday from the Crown Hotel to the Hidden River Barn on Saturday late morning, and then returning back to the Crown Hotel about 9 o'clock in the evening.
Message deleted.
Not that was just somebody ringing up for a taxi. I don't work weekends. Toodaloo. Oh, dear me. Hold on a minute, just got some more trolls on the channel. Just time to get rid of a few more. Justice for Green Web. The one kneecapping, says Trisha. Every Sunderland fans need a taxi from Oxford. Work this one out. This year's season ticket, 850 next season. Prem 570. It's mad. David Jones says, we started the season so well, but finished it like last season. I know that. I know. Trisha says, Reb Network, another one. Red Network says, Cabbie, have you heard we are linked with a striker called Pat Key from Bristol Rovers? I don't know. He says, get back to work, Cabbie. You have bills to pay. I'm a millionaire. I don't have bills to pay. David Jones says, no pace, no creativity, no plan B. We have turned into a dull team trying to nick 1-0. David Green says, another troll. We've got another troll on the channel. There's trolls everywhere. There's trolls all over the place. Yeah, if you see any trolls, if you think the trolls, the best thing to do is not feed them. They're just not worth it. I just block them from me and they can start pestering another channel if they want. So just let me deal with the idiots, and it's just a click of a button. It's not hard to do.
Because it's been flicked on, and I think they just stopped and thought that the ball was going to go out for play. Somebody's got to take responsibility.
Well, the Sunderland 11 is Patterson in goal, Hume, Mepham, O'Nien and Hjelde, Neil, Jobe, Roberts, Rigg, Lafay and Isidore. Oxford United coming in goal, back four of Long, Hellick, Nelson and Lee. A midfield of Vaux and Captain Brannigan.
Red Web, you are also booted, mate. These Green Web, Red Web, they all seem to be all linked together, don't they?
Fancy this. Because
see you later.
Lines, we've ended up giving a free kick right, 20 yards out.
Toodaloo.
It's about 22 yards. The wall is formed in the middle of the penalty area along the line of the penalty spot. And so in
cheers, deal gamer.
Drive, Brannigan and his stab home. Hellick.
Oh
manages to get his right foot on the loose ball dropped by Patterson. And the other centre-half now doubles the lead for Oxford United. Just 3 minutes into the second half.
Pathetic, mate.
They've only got
good
their
night.
own selves to blame.
Game over.
Nick.
Game over.
I think it was Nelson again, innit? I think. Who scored it?
Hellick. the pole, the 6'3" centre half after
Hellick.
Brannigan's
Sorry,
free kick
let's
was spilled by
Patterson totally flopped at it. He totally flopped it. Free kick came down, was on the ground.
Again,
Patterson went to dive, just bounced off his body, rebound in the back of the net.
So terrific strike initially
And poor
by
Sunderland
Brannigan,
fans,
but Patterson
Jesus.
got behind it but couldn't keep hold of it, and Hellick was the quickest to react. And so Mikael Hellick with his 6th goal of the season, his 4th for Oxford.
Richie Rennick says your
United,
quality
having
content
moved
obviously threatens
here from
these other
Huddersfield in
YouTubers,
January.
Cabby. I like to say it, there's
2-0
no I'm
then
doing wrong. YouTube would have blocked it well
to
beforehand.
Oxford United.
I will be getting in touch with Radio Newcastle myself
Giving themselves
anyway
a
to
lot to
see.
do now this afternoon. A team that's not been scoring a lot of goals of late.
So let them crack on.
Isidore, their only recognised
Cheers
striker
Richie for your
in the
positive
squad,
comments.
with the absence of Mienda.
And for Dill Gamer. Yep.
And now
Sunderland won't even
Oxford
beat
2-0.
a Sunday League team, never mind promotion.
So, ball with Lefay on this left-hand side. It's lost to Vaux. He's trying to lob Patterson, and the ball bounces
Sorry,
right at the
Cabby, but I
post.
think I've heard
As
enough
Patterson
shambles.
was
I don't
chasing
blame
back.
you, mate.
That would have been embarrassing.
Sign in
Would have
says,
been
Cabby,
embarrassing.
do you think you could
But
beat
again,
Mad Mistake in a
we've
fight?
lost the ball in the middle of the
Don't
park,
know, mate.
and if it was on target, it was a goal.
I don't think me and Mad Mistake are even
No
bothered
urgency,
one
Nick.
iota.
Oxford United in the driving seat then.
Sorry, Cabby,
Just a
but I've
few
heard enough.
miles from
Yeah,
where they build
yeah. Okay, I've been
these,
trying to keep
Cowley.
positive but struggling now.
Oxford 2.
Just not good
Sunderland
enough,
0.
Cabby. We've lost the
Header
plot.
by Oxford back into the Sunderland half. O'Nien trying to get it forwards again. Comes back to Mepham.
Let's
Cross
see
to
what the
Hume.
comments say.
Hume.
2-0. Embarrassing, says
Optimistic ball played
Andrew.
down the right wing.
Player like this in the playoffs would be
Comes
lucky
back
to
to
get a
Ben
goal.
Nelson.
What's going on?
Hook back up towards the halfway line.
Pete Bogg says
Roberts
all the
trying to get
teams
on
want
end of it,
us
but Will Vaux just
at the
drives it
playoffs
back
at this
upfield.
rate. Maybe that's the plan.
And Mepham
Give
has
them
to do
full
the
sense of
tidying
security.
up.
That were crap.
Plays it across to Luke
Lost for words,
O'Nien.
says Gary. Michael says,
O'Nien
can't wait
now
for these playoffs, mind. What a
to
team we are.
Mepham.
All standing
We're
still,
in the
no
51st
urgency.
minute
Absolute
now.
shell of a team in
And it's
comparison
played
to the
across
start of the
to
season.
O'Nien again on this left-hand side.
And
tap
PC
to
said, surprise, surprise,
Bellingham.
Patterson again.
Bellingham back
Again.
to
Simon Douglas says, we
O'Nien.
look like a bottom
And
three
O'Nien
side, not a
looking
team in the playoffs.
for- on the right
In
wing,
the playoffs, yeah.
Trey Hume halfway inside the
Put it this
Oxford
way.
United half, and Hume taking it into the middle now. Hjelde in a bit of space at the edge of the area. He's got Lefay, who pulls the ball back into the penalty area. Brannigan heads it away. Rodriguez pushes it back, and it's cleared by Vaux.
What I'm
over the
concerned
halfway
about,
line,
if we're in the
but
championship
O'Nien
next season,
wins
we'll
it,
be
plays
gone
it
down for
to
carrying on
Lefay
playing like this.
in front of Regis
That's
de
what
Vries.
bothers me.
Lefay managed to squeeze it past Plaheta, back to
Get
Mepham
the playoffs.
in the centre
This
circle.
is
to
relegation
Dan Neil,
form, this is.
And Neil out wide to Roberts, halfway inside the Oxford half, runs into Goodrum, and Goodrum's all over Roberts.
Unlucky
in the
today,
end,
see you
Roberts
in the
does manage to
playoffs. Is that a
get
Bristol
it back
City
to
Kieran?
Dan Neil, inside then to Chris Rigg, and he rolls it to Luke O'Nien at the edge of the centre circle. O'Nien to Joe, Brighton 1, West Ham 1.
I'm just looking at Milton Isidore's movement.
Another troll disappeared.
Or
Sign in.
Lack of
what you're
lack
saying.
of movement.
I'm not a
Here's
jam
Rodriguez.
sign it. Look at.
Plaheta's making a run. Plaheta runs onto this. O'Nien's chasing him. Plaheta into the penalty area, and he's squeezed
I'm not
it
trying to
just
be anybody
wide.
else.
He pulled it across the face of Patterson.
I'm just
I
trying
think
to be the
Patterson,
MACKEM
did he
cabbie,
get a
and that's
fingertip
me.
to it?
No,
Not
he's given
anyone
Didn't.
else.
The
So there we
Oxford
go.
players are saying there should be a corner. They're all appealing to the referee. They all felt that Patterson just got the tips of his fingers to the ball, but the referee disagrees.
Colin says that's it. I'm off
Plaheta was
watching
clear.
snooker. Calm down, says
He will
Richard.
think he should have made that
Packer
3-0.
says I'm going to do the dishes.
Here's
Don't
Joe.
blame you.
Job up
We're
to the
playing
halfway
crap if we
line.
play like this in the playoffs. We'll not
Left
get
of
a
the
goal.
centre
Yeah, I
circle,
know.
cuts
I know.
across the centre circle. trying
Jeff
to
says I'm
find
watching the
Hume.
tune.
Hume down to Rigg on that right hand side. Rigg looking for Hume, cut out by Greg Lee. Lee gives the ball away to Neil. Neil runs into Vaux. Vaux tried to tackle
needs
him,
help.
but Neil's tackled by Brannigan, and then Neil fouls Brannigan. And it's a free kick to Oxford United. Oxford lead 2-0. Sorry, Bennett.
You tell me, what are we trying to do going forward? We've got no pattern to play, have we? We keep the
Blackburn are
ball,
losing
yes, we keep the
1-0.
ball, but then what? There's nothing happening around the 18-yard box. We do not look a threat.
Cumming will take the free kick for Oxford in the middle pretty much of his half. The players congregated over on that far side, just inside the Sunderland
This
half.
is painful. You have more entertainment writing a paragraph copy of a book than watching this live.
Right, and it's headed away by MACKEM, and Isidor's crashed to the floor. He's got hit in the head by Ben Nelson, who's also hurt. He's crouched on the pitch.
Just going back to that free kick, the second goal, Nick. You had a feeling that they were going to score.
Thanks for the subscriber. Thank you.
Needless free kick on the edge of the box. We should have dealt with that ball. You know, the ball was going to go out.
They're all over the place,
It was all over the place. And then when he put, you know, when the Brannigan's round, he fancied it and he's thinking, he's going to score here. It was a good save by Patterson, but we haven't reacted. And we're 2-0 down. We give ourselves a mountain to climb.
Yeah, Hellick was the player that reacted the quickest, straight in to bury the ball for Oxford's second.
You know, we talk about resting players and managing players, but at the present moment, you know, Oxford want it more than us.
Unless we're giving other teams a false sense of security, Janet, I know that's all I can think we're doing. We'll see them battling properly soon enough. Not good enough so far, but we can turn it around, maybe, possibly. Okay, probably not, but I love being eternal. Hopes you get promoted, Trevor. Want Derby games back. Janet says useless. We are giving other teams, unless we are giving teams a false security. For all you trolls, says Diatona Fire. Jaden says we might not be playing our best because saving our energy for the playoffs. I've basically stopped listening and playing Xbox as well. Steam coming out of Benno's ears. Needley Catamol, says Doug. Davy Surge's going to be free soon. Keith Lupton, has Regis Labrie lost the best changing room? I just look, Sunderland are just on the beach. They're just on holiday. They're just on holiday. I'm not
up and under, but what it's done is shifted
we'll
them
see
50
the
yards
real
up
Sunderland
the pitch. That's what we should
in
do
the
at
playoffs.
times.
Believe me, we will see them. The season's done.
Blackburn 0, Watford 1.
And I'm not on about the playoffs, I'm on about the domestic season.
Foot of the table that
is finished. We're fourth. There's nothing we can do about it. We're not going to go high, we're not going to go low.
As Sunderland bring this ball out,
we'll finish fourth.
Yelder slips over and gives the ball to Plaheta. And now
we just need to chill.
Down the line to Rodriguez, inside to the pole.
Feel sorry for the supporters, John. Yes, absolutely. Sunderland seem incapable of taking a shot, says Richard. Gary Hoyle, where's the commitment? Absolutely nothing there, Cabby. We are a shadow of our mind. Mid-season form. Bush Campbell says if we did it against Swansea, we can do it today, but I don't know the time difference.
Sorry. We don't look a threat that we're going to score.
Well, haven't looked like scoring goals for a few weeks now. Not really creating any chances today either, which is a worry. Isidore having to chase Ben Nelson, but Nelson gets in front of him and turns the ball out for a throw to Sunderland on the far side. The Sunderland right, just inside the Oxford half in the end. MACKEM takes it eventually to Hjelde on this left side and wide to Lefay. He's got Plaheta in front of him, plays it back to Hjelde, back to O'Nien in the centre circle. In the middle is Job holds off Rodriguez, gets it out wide on the right hand side to Hume, inside to Roberts, back to Job back to MACKEM, and MACKEM on the halfway line wide then, and it's slipped inside by Roberts to Job, but a loose ball, and Plaheta's onto it again here, running at the three Sunderland defenders. Plaheta's still going, Job comes back to try and get the ball off Plaheta, but he's still got it, and then turns it inside, and it's played back eventually to be intercepted on the left wing by Lefay from Vaux, who wins it back again, but concedes a throw.
But even when Lefay's won the ball there, Nick, he's got no options, there's nothing.
So what's the cable? Thanks, Pet.
Hjelde with the throw, back to O'Nien.
Trish, I've just made you moderator and you can give me a hand. That would be great to get rid of all these.
Bringing it up to the halfway line. And suddenly closed down by Goodrum and Rodriguez. And Goodrum gets the ball off MACKEM and is away down the left wing. MACKEM having to get back. Goodrum to the edge of the penalty area.
You let Fudgy out,
Rodriguez
please.
with him. He rolls the ball back to Brannigan. Brannigan urged to shoot. He does. and just over the bar.
You know, the question is, you know, the likes of Chris Mepham losing the ball there, he'll turn around and say, I've got nothing to hit, I've got nobody to play the ball into, there's no movement.
Are you welcome, Trisha? It's nice to have
Ball
someone
being
to give us
passed
a
round
hand.
at the back by Sunderland. Patterson kicks it up over the halfway line. Hellick heads it on to Hjelde. And then it drops.
Afternoon, Cappy, says John. Hello, Johnny. All right. He says, what a shambolic display. I know.
Again on this left side, right side for Oxford.
Coventry got beat again. Lampard bubble burst. Now, if I was the likes of Coventry, then I would be worried because of the fact they're fighting to be in the playoffs. We haven't got an iota to fight for. Sam says, no chance we get promoted. Accept it now. We are playing Championship football next season. We might be playing League One the season after if we carry on.
Roberts now to Jobe. Jobe has Lefay to his left in the penalty area. Lefay is trying to come past two defenders.
Ooh.
Clips the ball in onto the head of Rigg and comes off the post. Rigg's header hits the left post. That was probably the best little spell of football Sunderland have achieved all game.
It's a great ball in by Lefay.
A clean movie, man.
Rochdale 4, Hartlepool 1. But it's still 2-0 to Oxford United at the Kassam Stadium.
Thanks for the subscriber, thank you.
The ball on halfway again. With O'Nien down the left to Lefay. Lefay down the left of the penalty area, crosses, drops for Rigg. He tried to control it, but then Lee puts his foot through it to clear it up into the centre circle. It's tapped away by Neil to Jobe under pressure, and then back to Neil and out to the left again to Lefay. Lefay in front of him is Sam Long. Lefay trying to shake him off. Long blocks the cross. It's a throw in the corner on the left-hand side for Sunderland.
You can see they might make a substitution in. They can try to put Lefay in the middle, aren't they? Bring Watson maybe on the left-hand side.
I did wonder about that, but yeah, make a change. I wondered even Isidore playing wide left rather than the middle and put Lefay in the middle. I don't know. They need to change something, don't they? So Hjelde has a throw here. 10 yards from the corner on the left. Finds Jobe. Jobe back to O'Nien. O'Nien to the edge of the centre circle, Mepham. And Mepham, Rodriguez just in front of him. Mepham rolls it out to the right to Hugh. The cross blocked by Goodrum. It'll be a throw to Sunderland. Drops to Rigg. Rigg back to Mepham on half.
More of that better outcome, lads.
O'Nien. Just under half an hour left now.
Roland says it's a disgrace. Pat O'Nott got his head on. Bush Campos says, I'm not sure what's better to keep playing like this and then get ready and motivated for the playoffs, or rest our playoffs so they can be ready, but won't be ready for the actual challenge. Next Saturday, Coventry against Borough.
Oxford left. An advantage played after a foul on good.
Ian says, shock, we put 3 passes together.
Played in towards Harris.
It's a long game, says Viv. Doug says, think Pato will be gone next season no matter
Patterson. Rolled out to Hjelde. Wolves 2, Leicester 0. In the middle, Dan Neil of his own half. Plays it wide to Hume. Hume to Rigg, leaves it for Hume again. He slips over as he tried to get the ball out to Lefay. Sam Long intercepts and leaves it for Will Vauxhall, who plays it back behind him to Hellick, the scorer of Oxford United's second goal. Long forwards again to the halfway line. Leaves it for Harris, who leaves it for Plaheta. Into the middle now to Rodriguez. Rodriguez down the right to Vauxhall. Lefay trying to get it back. The Welshman plays it back though to Sam Long, and Long.
I would steal, I don't blame you, mate. I think I'll switch off now, see how Gateshead's doing. Let us know how Gateshead is doing, Howard, before you go.
Down the left wing, it's
Revo, still half an hour to go. Always something to play for until the final whistle. We'll need a goal quick if we do.
Lee out wide again to Goodrum and down that touchline to Rodriguez. Inside eventually to Brannigan at the corner of the penalty area. And Brannigan now just flicks it back behind it to Goodrum.
But we're making every team look like Barcelona at the minute. Every team.
Sunderland, Rigg, and now Rigg gets it back again from Hume. Back to Dan Neil, trying to get the ball forwards. And eventually there's a foul on Robertson. It's a free kick to Sunderland. Job ushered back by the referee as he tried to break over halfway. Booking for Vaughan.
Thanks, Cabby. You're welcome, Ian. Big Dan Burn 2-0 Newcastle. That's Ipswich down. Can't stand any more of this. Going to cut the grass, says Ian. Martin Lewis says I'm going to empty the vacuum cleaner.
Oxford United 2, Sunderland 0.
It's quite a good job, that, actually.
It would take Oxford to
watching these suckers on here. What a load of rubbish, said Stephen Lane. We are not good enough for Premier League. It will be Championship next season. And what you said, Mac and Cabby 24/7. At the rate we've been playing, we would struggle.
Speaking to both Walks and the captain, Brannigan.
Well, we can't blame what's in this league, says Telly. No, we cannot.
Humes waiting to take
Blackburn
the free kick
have
on that right-hand
equalised.
side. Vaux has had his telling off.
At least we'll be spared watching Sunderland get beat each week in the Premier League.
Hume
Oh, wait.
Tap the ball to Neil.
Tricia says,
Back
I'm
to
fed up with them,
Hume.
but no way
Hume back again to
am I doing
Mepham.
the
Mepham.
arguing. Welcome to our new
Plays across
moderator,
to O'Nien
Tricia.
here.
She's a
And
good
O'Nien
lass, and she's
back
helping
to
out.
Patterson
Get rid of the
in
idiots.
the D at the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. Patterson back to
I don't know why
Mepham on the
people
right-hand
can't just
side.
concentrate on their own
And,
channels
Mepham
and just let me
on
do what I'm
now
doing. I'll let
to
what
Chris Rigg.
they do.
Rigg
Just leave me
to
alone and let me
Job
get
at the
on
back
with
of
what
the
I'm doing.
centre circle. Job taking this
Christopher
into
says
the
the only
Oxford half.
the only
Out
player
to
Roberts is
Lefay
his
on
self.
the left, back into the
Cabby.
middle
Yeah, I
to
do.
Job.
I know.
Job to Neil. Neil wide on the right to Trey
Says
Hume. Roberts is there
Christopher
as well.
Skidmore.
Here's
Let's
Patrick
be honest,
Roberts
Cabby.
now.
It's typical
And he
Sunderland, says
plays it
Colin. I
back
know.
to Dan Neil. Neil forwards to Roberts. Roberts in the centre now, clipping a ball in with his left foot, headed away from Job by Long. Comes out to O'Nien, down to Hjelde on this left-hand side, leaves it for Roberts, who nearly got caught by Vaux, and the ball cleared again by Oxford into the Sunderland half. 65 minutes. I'm wondering if we're going to see Sirkin soon. Blackburn won, Watford won. Dennis Sirkin, I think, might be about to come on for Sunderland. And the ball has come back to Cumming, the Oxford goalkeeper.
Stephen Martin, just checking in
Sirkin's
now.
right
What's it like?
wrist is
What it's like? It's
bandaged.
pre-season for Sunderland,
Disappeared
Stephen. That's
out
all
of
I'm
view
saying.
at the moment. Wolves
It's
2 Leicester
pre-season
0.
stuff.
Below us, as we look
Yeah,
down
you're
the
welcome,
back of
Tricia.
this main stand,
Gonna
but I
go
think
down the beach for a
with it
walk.
being 65, 66 minutes now, we'll see him coming on soon.
Both of them.
Ball's gone back to
Yeah, where's
Patterson.
it?
Oxford fans felt that Mark Harris was fouled in that move. The referee disagrees. The ball comes back to Patterson again. He taps it to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien out to Mepham on the right. Oxford lead 2-0. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle in the 66th minute here. Long has his eye on it, heads it back to the goalkeeper in the penalty area.
That's the first save he's had to make.
You're not far wrong.
Yeah.
Not far wrong.
Yeah,
Jamie
we laugh,
Cummings
we
not
laugh,
really
but
been
it is.
tested, has he? He's not really been tested this afternoon by Sunderland.
Have we had a shot on goal?
Colin Bell
No, it's
3-0
been,
to Oxford. I wouldn't be
Well,
surprised,
Rigg's
mate.
header off the post. It's been a relatively comfortable afternoon for Hellick and Nelson, and so much so that both of them have scored. The ball
We could
forwards
play
from
Gate,
Vaux,
said.
and then,
And we'll get
Hjelde
beat
has
off
caught
them
the
today.
pace.
Oh, 9.
Sorry, O'Nien's caught
Pools
the
will
pace.
beat us on performance, I know.
The player involved, Harris, I think it is.
Chris says, I hope you don't go up anyways.
Referees come across here.
Bush says,
O'Nien's
whoever
back
said,
on his feet. And, just a word from
we're
the referee.
struggling,
Free kick
didn't
taken
have our
by
full squad
O'Nien
out,
to
and with
Job.
try off and lots of injuries,
Inside
you
then
can't really
to
do much
Dan
with
Neil.
that.
Neil
And we haven't been losing
just
by
slipping
much,
it through
and
the
we
middle,
haven't tried much.
finding Rigg, who lays it off
This
to
is the
Job.
Breeze master
Job
plan
out
to trick
wide
the
here
other
on the
teams
left-hand
thinking we're
side
crap,
to
says Dylan.
Lefay, Long goes with
Carl
him.
says,
Lefay
bye, Cabby,
is
see
gonna
you
play
in
it
the
back now
playoffs.
to
Well, we'll have
Hjelde,
one more
and
game.
Hjelde back again to Luke O'Nien. And O'Nien, there's going to be a substitution made by Sunderland. I'm sure it's going to be
We'll
Sirkin.
have another game. Last game of the season
Played
against
back by
QPR.
Rigg to Mepham. Mepham down the right again to Hume.
John Nesbitt says, I've seen better teams on St George's Park on
to
Sunday
Neil,
morning.
On to Rigg, leaves it for Roberts, cutting into the centre.
If you ask
Roberts on
me,
his left, trying to place it
I am
through
panicking.
into the penalty area for Isidore or Lefay. But Oxford get the ball away again, comes all the way back to Luke O'Nien, who pushes it on to Dan Neil, wide to Hjelde, tackled.
Like I said, do you really want Sunderland to go hell for leather
For Oxford.
and
Behind
get
him is
injuries
Long.
left, right and centre?
Long hooks it up into the Sunderland half. O'Nien battling with Rodriguez. A lot of shirt pulling going on here, and the ball eventually out for a throw to Sunderland. 68th minute. Sunderland, the fourth official, Carl Brook, has got the board, and he's keeps looking back at the Sunderland bench, which we can't see, but the change, as I say, is imminent. As the ball is played out on the right wing
Sunny
to Trey
morning
Hume, over
in
halfway,
Vancouver Island, says
still
Doug Ryan
going,
Jones
slips
says
through
we
the legs
need
of a
Jesus
defender
in
to
goal
Patrick
because he
Roberts in the
saves
middle,
the
who
Pope
plays a
in
lovely ball
midfield
to
because he's
Lefay
a
at the edge of
leader.
the penalty
Well,
area.
don't want the Pope because
Lefay
at the minute
now
he's a
trying
dude,
to
isn't he?
tee up Job. He didn't shoot. He's trying to
bless
take
him.
the ball into the penalty area. A block on the shot of
Tricia
Chris
says
Rigg.
Durham
Comes
Diver,
out
hope
to
you're right.
Patrick
Durham
Roberts.
Diver Joke
And
Club.
Roberts now on the
We
right-hand
will lose
side.
the last game, says
Roberts
Peter.
plays it back
Wouldn't be
behind
surprised.
him to Mepham. Dan Neal's
No
forward,
injuries
Dan Neal
wanted
on the
at this
left,
stage. That's what I'm
central
thinking, Janet.
midfield,
And this
bringing
is
us
us in the
forward to the edge of the
playoffs
penalty
mode.
area. Out to
I don't think
Gelder
it
on
is,
the
to be
left.
honest with you. I'd happy if
Gelder
we
to
could
the
just
goal
score a
line
goal,
almost,
says Mike.
crosses.
We're saving
It's
ourselves
gonna
for
be
the
heading
playoffs,
clear
and we're
by
going to score
Goodrum.
about 5 in
Comes
each
to
leg, man.
Mepham, who nods it out wide on the far side, where it's put back in by Rigg, off the head of Sam Long, out into midfield again. And Watson is coming on. There's going to be one change, and Sirkin are going to come on for
We
Sunderland.
don't deserve to
There'll
be
two
promoted
changes
at this
at
rate.
least,
Well, the
that I
argument
can
will
see
be is we've finished
down
fourth
below
off top.
here.
The league
And
table doesn't
Joe
lie. We
does
have
well
finished
to shake
fourth.
off two
Fantastic.
Oxford
So we
players,
do
then
deserve
gets the ball
something.
to Neil,
But
who's
on
crossed
the
the
last
ball and
4
floats away
performances
behind.
are absolutely right.
Sheffield
Kevin, I
Wednesday
do
won,
agree with
Portsmouth
what you're
won. The
saying there.
substitutions being made now.
I won't be so I'd try to get Lefay in the middle.
Roberts is coming off. Millwall 1, Swansea 0. Millwall in the hunt for the playoffs, of course. So
There we are. Tommy Watson's going to score 2 goals.
comes
Diane Lau. Hello, Diane. Good to
off
see you.
and
This is
Gelder
absolutely
comes off.
shocking. Says even if we did get the Premiership, we will be straight back down again. This is their not
Sirkin will get 20 minutes plus. Takes up his position at left back. Tommy Watson's on the
It
right
would be embarrassing
wing.
if this squad went into the Premier League in the state that we kept this.
2-0 Oxford lead. Goal kick to the home team in the 71st minute now.
It would be an absolute
And coming kicks
embarrassment.
over halfway down the left.
But I'm going to
headed on
chill
by
out
Joe,
tonight.
but one back
I'm
by
going
Oxford,
to
then
have a
Mepham.
gaming on my PC,
Back
might
to
watch a
Neil,
film.
out wide to Trey
Roland
Hume.
Sinclair. Hello, Roland.
Comes off
My good
Goodrum,
fellow.
gets to Lee.
Good
Lee
to
on the
see.
left
Says,
side,
I said to
looking
my son 3 weeks
to try
ago,
and
we
float it
won't
through
win
the
the
middle, but
win,
Sunderland
play for
clear
a
it
draw or
out to
lose.
Job.
Not
Job
close
does
to
well to
who
hold
started
up
the season.
Harris, who
My
fell
feeling
in
is Speakman doesn't want to dig in his
foul, but it was the
pocket.
other
he
way
says.
round, and Job takes the free kick, runs on to Lefay here on the left-hand side, on the halfway line, inside to Dan Neal, forwards to Chris Rigg, who let it run through to Watson. Watson now in the penalty area, tries to cross, and it's put across the face of goal by
If
Ben
anything
Nelson,
for
and
the
behind
fans,
for a
just
Sunderland corner. That
Get
could have gone
something
anywhere.
out of the game, for
Could have
goodness
done.
sake. Think of
Well
the
done,
fans. I
Tommy
know we
Watson,
keep
good
saying
balling.
we don't want to go hell
It's
for
a
leather
third
because we're in the playoffs,
Sunderland
but
corner.
what about the fans?
Comes on
That's
the left-hand side here
costing a
for Enzo
fortune to go
Lefay
down there.
to take.
Eh?
Watson's over on this left-hand side as well, at the corner of the penalty area. Lefay.
Good ball.
If they
towards
did
the
away
far
with the
post,
playoffs and it was the
headed
top
away and
3
out
groups,
by
you think we'd be
Ben
playing this
Nelson for a
badly?
Throw to Sunderland.
I don't
Couple
think
of
so,
yards up
Ryan.
from the corner
The only
flag
thing I
on the
love about
right.
this game is
Trey
the way it
Hume will
gets
take the
us.
throw. Rigg
Aye.
coming across. Watson's jogging across. Hume.
Cabby, don't
needs
worry
a
about
bit
the
of help
Premier League,
over
it
there.
simply won't happen. The owners are like their
Rigg
team.
trying to shake off
Embarrassment.
Goodrum.
My lad's going to fix
Watson.
his
But it's
car.
going to go into the penalty area. Nelson
Roberts,
heads
easy
it
though, waste of
straight
space,
down to
says Stephen.
Lefay,
No.
who tries a bicycle kick but wide of the post. And a goal kick for Oxford in the 72nd
Okay,
minute.
Bush, back a
leading
bit.
2-0
What sort of films
still.
do you like, says Colin?
Lefay
Oh,
picks
there's loads I
himself
like.
up. Yeah,
Loads
picks
I like.
himself up. He's okay.
Apollo 13, I like The Firm,
And a
like
double
the football
substitution
hooligan
being made
film,
by
that's good.
Oxford.
The Firm.
Now
Planes, Trains and Automobiles, I
Matt
could go on
Phillips.
and on. Contact.
Matt Phillips
the
is coming
forward
on.
is going to come on. And,
Absolutely loads.
Rodriguez
Shawshank
is
Redemption,
being
Green
replaced
Mile, Flash Gordon,
by,
believe it or not. Our lads are giving only 60% because they don't want to miss the playoffs, says D Hall. Geordie Groundwater says something has gone awfully wrong. If we keep playing like this, it's going to be relegation next year. I do agree, if we do. TJ,
Plachetta's come off.
how are you doing, TJ? Says we don't deserve to be in the playoffs.
Matt Phillips. Matt
Phillips and Plachetta, and also off. Well, Matos is on. Rodriguez off. So Alex Matos, who's on loan from Chelsea, 20-year-old, spent the first half of the season on loan.
Anything
at
with action.
Huddersfield.
I like
He
a
is
good horror
on,
film. Yeah, but you are
as
watching
is
one.
Matt Phillips, the 34-year-old Scottish international.
Well, we all know in a few weeks'
Who's,
time. Well, that's it. We will
gone
know
up
in a few
front.
weeks' time what the real Sunderland's about.
Or just behind Matos and Harris here on the right-hand side for Oxford, as Job tries to get forwards now to Rigg, to Job, through to Isidore, slips it to Hume, Watson slips, and Lee tries to get away on the far side for Oxford. Throw though to the home team, 2-0 they lead. Lee will take the throw.
Well, this means
over
Oxford
on
is safe if they
far
win.
side.
So,
Greg Lee, down the line it goes into the
Plymouth are
Sunderland
fighting
half.
for their lives. They're
Mepham
1-0
heads
up.
the ball away.
Still,
Vauxhall
but
puts
Luton
his
won
through
earlier,
it in
which
the
didn't
air,
help
it's
their
up and under,
cause.
out to the touchline on the Sunderland right, but Matos puts his foot in and then loses
well
it.
done.
And Rigg comes away with it, surrounded by yellow shirts. He goes down, but the referee, well, he's taken a look at it, and he has given the free kick.
He has that delayed action.
There was a
doesn't he?
delay, wasn't
Like,
there then,
you
with
know,
Tim Robinson making the decision, but he eventually did. Free kick taken, comes back to Dan Neil in the centre
oh, dear
circle.
me.
Just over 15 minutes left to play. Oxford 2, Sunderland 0. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Here's Lefay on the left-hand side. Back to
David Surtees says,
O'Neill.
can't believe I paused the downloading
Lefay
for
down the line
Oblivion
here
because I
to
was interfering
Sirkin.
with the broadband to watch
Cuts
this.
inside
I know,
play,
I
the
know.
ball back to
Paul Hennon
O'Neill.
says, what about penalties?
across
No,
to
thank you.
Mepham.
Tony O'Reilly says, I just hope the real
Mepham
Sunderland turn
on
up.
to Rigg.
They've got no
Rigg
choice,
now to
mate. If they
Neil through the
don't,
middle. Neil rides one challenge, but Lee puts
They've
his
had
foot
it.
through it, clears it. All the way back up
Disillusion
to
says,
Patterson.
Regis Labrie needs his
Patterson
P45
then
absolute dross.
to
Yet again, playoffs, that's a
O'Neill.
joke.
Oh.
Mike Thompson
Give the ball
says we
away
don't
to
seem to
Harris,
play
and
well
O'Neill
when we
has
have
the
more
recovery.
possession.
Playing
Twice
it
as
down
much
the left wing to
possession,
Lefay.
twice as many
Lovely
passes,
touch
but
to
no
control
shots
it
on
from
goal.
Lefay. Job is striding through. He's offside, looks to me, but the flag has stayed down. And Job now on the left side of the penalty area pulls it back to Sirkin, who crosses. Looking on the far side for Hume. Rigg let it drop over his shoulder. And now Watson back to Rigg into the
Great
penalty
ball.
area. Block on Hume's shot. And Nelson will get the ball away for a throw to Sunderland on the far side. Wigan 1, Blackpool 1. Here's
You think we're playing
Hume.
Paris Saint-Germain? Honest to God.
grab a ball.
Doug B says, old movie that I liked was The Fast Lady from the 60s. Kevin Cowell, if we don't get promoted and we get the mags, they will stuff us. TJ says, what will
Waiting
our
for
team
a-
be like next season if we don't go up?
An injury. It was Vauxhall, I think.
D
it was
says,
caught
Dow Hall says, a great game
just
back
at
in
the
the
edge
day
of
at
the
Oblivion.
penalty area.
Lafay is going, says TJ. Zombie
Tim
Sunderland there to
Robinson
believe,
happy.
says Colin.
Now,
David Surtees, downloading the remake brings back memories. TJ Bellingham will go, Rigg will go, Ballard will go, Hume will go, Neil will go, Patterson will go. We'll have no team.
O'Nien.
We will get relegated,
Well,
TJ. Hello,
Sirkin
Kevin
to
Ware. Good to
Lefay.
see you, my friend. How are you doing? He says,
Back
I'm
to
still excited and looking forward to the
Sirkin.
playoff games. We
Sirkin
deserve to
back
be
to
there.
O'Nien.
League table doesn't lie over
From
the course of the
halfway
season.
line,
No, it doesn't.
drills
That's what I
the
said
ball down
earlier.
the right wing. Watson will chase it, runs onto it in the corner.
Sam Greenwell
keeps
says,
it
free
in,
carnation is
and
real.
plays it
I
back
bet I
now
come back as
to
a Sunderland
Hume.
fan.
Cross, long headed away from Job.
The league
And
table
another
doesn't lie
throw
though,
to
folks. We're
Sunderland.
fourth off top. The season's finished. The domestic season's finished. We're fourth
Hume
off
with
top.
it. Back to Mepham.
We've done the job.
To
We're
O'Nien
in the
now in the
playoffs.
centre circle. Neil. It'd be very interesting if Sunderland could pull a goal back here now. Neil
just
through
playing-
to Joe.
playing for a bit of pride.
Heel through for either Isidore or Lefay to run on to, but it's come back to the goalkeeper. Southampton 1, Fulham 1. Long's gone down for Oxford, and Sunderland are going to make another change. Salis is going to come on.
Thanks for the subscriber, thank you.
Well, normally it would be
or
Dan
Dan
Neil.
Neil.
It's going to be Brown as well. So 2 changes imminent for Sunderland. Salis and Brown. Sam Long still receiving treatment. fourth official with the board, ready to. The Lefay is coming off for Brown.
John Newell says we have no chance in the playoffs on this evidence.
Enzo Lefay comes off. And for Salis, the player coming off, or Long's coming off here now for Oxford. It's Dan Neal.
Thanks for the 253 people anyway who are still tuning in.
So coming on for Oxford is Hidde Terrevest, Dutch right back. Terrevest.
Big shout to Big Davey, hope you're doing well today, mate.
27-year-old Dutchman.
Another Dras performance.
Right back
if you're watching Davey at home, how are you doing? To Davey and the whole of his family. I'm having a good stretch here. Do you know, I was going to do a review after the game, but I don't think I'll bother, because what's it?
Ball is back with Cumming.
What's the review? Cheers, Viv73. Mike Thompson, Millwall won up at this rate. Alex Neil could be in the playoffs at the expense of Coventry.
So
yeah, you know what'll happen if we play Millwall,
right,
isn't it?
Throw to Sunderland. Phillips is penalised. And the free kick, in fact, has been awarded in the end, which O'Nien's going to take.
Stephen, I'm judging them in the playoffs. Not now.
O'Nien drives it up over the halfway line. Headed on by Isidore, but then
I'm judging them in the playoffs when it matters.
Onto the head of Job.
That's when you'll see.
Isidore in the middle, lays it off now
what
to
Sunderland are about.
Hume wide on that right-hand side. And it's picked up by Rigg. Played back again to Mepham. Rolls it across to O'Nien, coming
long
up to the
drive back, journey
line.
back for the Sunderland fans.
It
certainly
it's
is.
Floated down to Brown, and he puts the ball in the penalty area, but it's headed away before it drops to Watson. Cheltenham 2, Carlisle 2, but that's still not enough to keep Carlisle up. They need a winner. Blackburn 2, Watford 1. Here's Joe. Gets
they
the
do
ball
need a winner,
left,
but Tranmere are
midfield.
winning, so if they do get a winner, they're still down. But they've been awful, Carlisle.
Now to
they've really been absolutely shocking for the majority of the season.
Matos on the shoulder.
The damage was done way before.
Out to the right wing, Rigg battling
but
over
they'll
there.
rebuild. They'll rebuild next season in the National League.
Throw for Oxford United in their yellow shirts, dark blue shorts. Sunderland in their white. And
John Nesbitt, catch you later, mate. Sorry about the results. You've just painted the door. We'll have a lovely Saturday afternoon, mate, if you can.
Since 3 minutes into the second half, both
Preston
centre
nil,
halves
Plymouth 2 now.
scored for Oxford this afternoon.
Keith Lupton says if this is a tactic, it's a really bad tactic.
Back to Salis, who plays it back to Patterson. Matos goes to close him down, but Patterson passes it out to O'Nien.
So what's everybody's plans on this Saturday night? Come on, let us know in the chat. What's your plans? What are you doing? Are you going out for a drink? Are you chilling out with your slippers and your pipe or whatever? Watching some movies? Are you going out partying? What are you doing? I'm chilling. I might be playing some games on the PC and just unwinding.
Here's O'Nien.
Because when you drive a taxi for 8-9 hours a day, Monday to Friday, it's nice to switch off.
Down by Matt Phillips, gets it back to O'Nien, onto Salis.
Yeah, winning is easy when you're winning. The same applies to losing.
Sirkin to Joe, just yards from him. Joe on this left-hand side, back to O'Nien.
Heidi's going to the gym.
Trying to play it up into the penalty area, into the arms of Jamie Cumming, the goalkeeper. Just falls on his knees. The ball
big hello to 251 watching, thank you.
Jogs back across the penalty area. Preston 0, Plymouth 2. So Plymouth are giving themselves a lifeline. Preston are not really entirely sure of safety. They'd probably be okay, but technically they could still go down. Here's O'Nien, plays the ball to Patterson. And Preston's last game of the season is at Bristol City. Bristol City will possibly...
Roland Sinclair, question, why have all our sack managers done well after moving on?
Earlier today, if you haven't seen the results. To
Tony Mowbray, and
to O'Nien. O'Nien on the halfway line, on the left of the centre circle. to Salis.
I don't know.
Oxford
I
are
don't know.
getting
It just
everybody
seems that
behind
way.
the
I don't
ball.
think it is.
Sunderland trying to work it through. MACKEM gives it straight to Greg Lee on the left-hand side, who hooks it back up into the Sunderland
Tricia says
half.
I'll be PJ slippers on TV. Saturday night boxing, yeah, you back Junior.
Gets it out to O'Nien.
I'm drowning my
O'Nien
sorrow, says NM.
down this
Waiting for the
left-hand
damn game to download more than
Watson's
likely.
come over to the left
Slipping some
now.
Guinness at my local,
Taps
says
it back
Tony. Question
to
shoot.
O'Nien,
Oh yeah,
through to
yeah, well, I've
Salis.
read that one. Been on
And,
tapas and vino in Spain
back
since
out
10
to
AM, so I
Watson
think I'm
on
gonna
the
tonight a
left-hand
siesta
side.
time. Have an
Just
on, mate, mate.
inside the Oxford half. Brown is playing through
Plymouth
the
need a
middle.
huge win next
Salis
game.
is in the centre circle.
Yeah, I know. I think Plymouth are gone.
Ball on to Sirkin.
It's their
wide
away
to
record which
Watson.
has let
Rigg
them
is
down,
wide
really.
right. Watson plays the ball straight through the penalty area down the left and out for a goal kick. Oxford 2, Sunderland 0.
You've got to say it's a very, very disappointing performance, Nick, especially when you're talking about making them changes and everyone's thinking, okay, we're bringing a bit better quality in, hopefully we'll up our level of game, but it hasn't happened. In fact, we've struggled.
Well, I think, you know, when you look at
We
the
haven't
keeper
even
not
got
actually
out of the
technically
gear,
having
Gary.
had a
We're
save
not
to
bothered,
make,
are we?
Rigg
We're just
had a header against
we're just chilling out,
the
man.
post, but other than
That's
that,
it.
they've not been stretched at all, have they, Oxford at the back?
Durham Diver says the
into
battle
the
for 6th place is so
Sunderland half.
close that
Drops
will
to
be
Sirkin.
decided in the
He's
last
trying to
game
get
of the
Watson
season.
away
Yeah,
on
I
this
think
left-hand
ourselves
side,
lucky
who
we're not in
slips
their
over
position.
and gets the
Battling
ball inside
for
to
6th.
Hellick, who gets it
Wrexham
up
need
the
to win to be
halfway line.
promoted
Sirkin
today,
gets
says
it to
Roland.
Salis.
What's
Back
Wrexham
to
doing? Are they playing? Have they played? Are they playing? Are they
Inside
playing this
to
evening?
Salis. And then across
John
to
73
Mepham
says
on the
going to
right.
chill out with my
Mepham
SAFC supporting
bringing it up to the
daughter.
halfway line.
Good answer, Doug,
Forwards to
says
Rigg,
Tricia.
back on
Mackham
halfway, Salis to
Mike says,
Joe,
I'm feeding my
then to
hens
O'Nien,
slugs in the
out
back
to
garden. Oh,
Watson
that'll be great,
on this
that, mate.
left-hand side.
Brilliant.
Watson, Sirkin on the overlap. Watson's
It's
attempted cross block by
something
Phillips.
whole
Watson gets it
Wrexham,
back
says Trevor.
and then slips it
Mike
to
Thompson,
O'Nien.
early night. The wife's
Just
running the
behind
London Marathon in the morning.
Newcastle
We'll be
3,
putting
Ipswich 0.
in more effort
It's
than these lads,
Salis.
absolutely.
Salis to
Disillusion
Hume.
says Wrexham will finish
On the right
higher
of
than next
midfield,
season in the
wide
Championship.
then on the far side to Rigg again. Brown in the penalty area and the throw at the corner for Sunderland.
Well, apart from Sunderland hitting
Brighton
the
1,
post with a
West
header,
Ham 2 in the Premier League, and Rigg will
they've
take a
done
throw.
absolutely
Back to
sweet
Salis.
effort.
And Salis now out. Well, he's played the ball out.
Yeah, yeah. A
Under
long
pressure
time,
on
cool
Matos.
hand, Luke. A long time they've
It's a
been
throw
in the.
to Oxford, just back inside their half on the left-hand side.
I'll tell you what, they'll have to do some
Division
work this
2.
week and in the Queen's Park Rangers game, Nick, to get momentum, because
Well,
we're all over the place this afternoon.
A little bit like Queen's Park Rangers earlier today, who lost 5-0 at home to Burnley. There's a Oxford player down, so he's going to receive some treatment. We're into the last 5 minutes of the game. If you're just joining us on BBC Radio Newcastle, Oxford United lead Sunderland 2-0. The two centre-halves, Ben Nelson and Mikhail Hellick, with the goals for the home team, who will be safe. They will be in the Championship next season with this win, because I think you can't see anything but an Oxford win with the time left and the way the game has gone this afternoon. Mark Harris is back up on his feet.
Yeah, good luck
The
to
phone-in
Mike's
follows, of
wife
course.
tomorrow running the
You
London
can give us a
Marathon.
call,
Hope
0800
everything
234
goes well
6565.
for you
Harris
and
is
your wife,
coming
Mike, so
off.
best of luck there.
He's getting
Yeah,
a
not one shot on target all
standing
game.
ovation. Mark Harris. I'm trying to see who's replacing him. It's Elliot Moore, the defender, the centre half.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's going to be a double switch, because also coming on,
God, when Oxford
Bennett,
played
Joe
us at the
Bennett, is it?
stadium
is
like
Joe
earlier on
Bennett,
this
the defender,
season,
yeah.
we destroyed them. They never got a look in. They did not get a look in at
So,
all.
Lee has come off to be replaced.
Sunderland might have just as well have not turned up.
Bennett, natural switch
Let the
again.
lasses have a run out. And just say, there's your 3 points, lads. As a matter of fact, the lasses might have really beaten.
Elliot Moore, who is 6'5" as well.
Tony says
Comes
there used to
on.
be 4 lads going to watch
Bennett
Wrexham
will
from
go
my
left
hometown.
back, replacing
Now
Greg Lee.
there is
And
30
Elliot Moore
plus.
comes into the back 4. Do they go? They think they've gone a 3, haven't they? By the looks
Brand
of it.
game, and I wouldn't even say we've
For this
played.
final
Never mind,
4
played
minutes
horrible.
Or so, 3 minutes. Oxford lead 2-0. Text us if you like on 81333. Put
And rightly so, the
BBC
Oxford
at the front of your message,
fans
or
are
you WhatsApp
singing their
us.
hearts out
Again,
because
put BBC at the front of your message.
stayed up,
08000
they're safe.
321
job done.
333.
And congratulations
As
to
Matos
them.
takes
They've
the ball
deserved
down
it
into
today.
the corner on the left. The ball rolls along the goal line. It's a goal kick in the end, which is just tapped by Patterson to O'Nien. Out to Sirkin on this left-hand side. And back to O'Nien.
So Middlesbrough are currently drawn 0-0 against Norwich. Are their playoff hopes slipping away as well?
Hume
We're all
crosses,
opening the
looking
door
for
for
Isidore.
Millwall. We're still
His
leading.
control lets him down. It will roll behind for a goal kick.
Plymouth fighting, but are just going to run out at the end of the season.
Reggie Lebreese's, shall we say, review of this game, where it all went wrong.
He's not got the momentum he would be hoping from.
No, you know, he's talking about resting players.
Choice of players.
Yeah.
We've lost a bit of sparkle somewhere.
Spark and fight.
Yeah. Greg Lee, who's walked round the pitch.
Fernie,
has
be
got a
back on
standing
supporting you guys in the
ovation.
playoffs. Thank you, Fernie, and well done for getting promoted to
into
the Premier
the
League, mate.
dugout.
Have a wonderful Saturday night. You're welcome, Mackem, Mike. All the best, mate. Cheers, Darren Diver. Sick of this, like, says Dill Gamer. Yeah, imagine what them fans think of down there. Richie says,
That's a massive goal for Derby County.
well, you don't know if Regis Please lost the dressing room, but he certainly lost me, says Richie. Under 21s next week. We aren't making it past the playoffs, says Bran. Kevin says, no, they won't be relegated in the final day. Draw for Cardiff, says Kieran. Mike Thompson says, thanks, Cabby, she's hoping to run 3:30. Not bad for 66. Absolutely, it's quality, mate.
Corner for Sunderland, 6 minutes.
Tell your wife the Mackem, Cabby says, good luck. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, says Doug. Fernie says, thanks for your support of the channel, it's appreciated. ALS, you're welcome, mate. Best to you, mate.
Blocked by Bennett. It bounced awkwardly the ball, then Matos drives the ball out past the Burger van.
I've knocked the stream off now.
Into Sainsbury's.
Into Sainsbury's, is it? Another corner
I've
to
knocked the stream off. Right, cheers, Fernie, mate. You take care, pal.
left-hand side here, Hume.
You're just looking over there at the Sunderland supporters who've travelled all the miles up here, and we haven't given them anything.
Carlisle are
to cheer
definitely
about,
down now
really.
because Tranmere have gone
Not really.
2-0 up.
Tim Robinson's seen some pushing in the penalty area,
So that's good night to Carlisle. They'll be back though, they'll be back. You're welcome, Jennifer Andrews.
Played nearly a minute of the minimum 6. Hume curls this ball in.
Chat soon,
it's
Roland,
just
mate.
palmed over the bar by the goalkeeper. Don't think it was going to creep under the bar and in, but there's another corner to Sunderland as we go into the second minute of the 6 being added on here. Hume returns to the corner. Hume then from this left-hand side curls it into the 6-yard box, palmed down by the goalkeeper, punched down to Vauxhall on the left. Brown closes him down. It's a throw to Oxford in front of the remaining.
Okay, Steve
Sunderland
Martin, well, thanks for
fans.
tuning in,
They see
mate.
all of them drifting
Have a good
through
weekend.
the
Viv73,
car park now,
thanks
back
for
to
the
their
stream. You're welcome,
coaches
pal.
and cars.
Welcome, Devon Mackem. Enjoy your
resign
weekend and the banter.
themselves
Yes, thank you.
to
We
the
need Roy
defeat
Keane back as manager,
this
says
afternoon,
Colin. See you later,
Sunderland.
Roland. Luton on 49
The
points.
throw down the line from Bennett. It's come back out for another throw, and we played 2 minutes of the minimum 6 now. And Joe Bennett will have
Why play 6
yet
minutes at a
a
time?
further throw
I don't know.
on the far side. The Oxford left down into the Sunderland half. Headed away by Mepham, comes
Thanks
back
for
to
the
Joe
subscriber, thank
into
you.
the centre,
You're welcome,
where
Gwen
it's
Hartley.
bumped forward by Hellick, and it will go out for a throw to Sunderland. 15-20 yards from the corner on the left. The referee. wants the
Trisha
throw
says you
taken
two
from
enjoy
the
whatever
correct
you're doing
position.
this
It goes
weekend,
back to
Fernie.
Patterson. It's left.
Richie Rennick, cheers for the stream, mate.
Joe-
You're welcome.
Joe
You're welcome.
coming away
David
with
Sir,
this
he says,
now
right, I'm off now. This
to
has been
Mepham.
abysmal. Just
Mepham
hope that
on
this
the
is a
right-hand
cover
side
for
up to
playoff games.
halfway
I have
line.
my doubts. Cheers for
Ball
tuning
given
in,
away,
David.
it's swept past
Have
Joe
a
Bennett.
good
It'll run back to this
Saturday
because it's
evening.
closed
Have a good
down by
weekend.
Chris Rigg, who's managed to keep it in and then won a free kick. So well done, Chris Rigg, for that perseverance on the far side. 3 minutes left. And the free kick is virtually on the touchline on the right-hand side. It's some 6 yards or so from the corner on the right. Oxford leading 2-0. And it's whipped in by Hume. Mepham trying to get his head on it. A slip by Sirkin, but it runs to Job, and Job now just rolling it into the middle to Chris Rigg. Rigg clipping it up into the penalty area. Brown drives it back in. Watson couldn't get his foot on the end of it. It comes out to Matt Phillips. Sirkin gets the ball off Phillips, leaves it behind him for Job, and now Job in the middle to Rigg again. And Rigg back to Job on this left-hand side. Job to Sirkin. Slips it to Watson. Watson pulls it back in the air.
Playoff mode
No,
seems to be
it's
even worse
cleared.
than rotation mode, says
And,
Lee.
well,
Keane has control
Brannigan
over anyone
felt
in
the
front
back
of
his
him.
knee then, just
You're welcome,
stretching
Diane Law.
the
Thanks,
Oxford
Cabby. At
captain,
least
but
you
he's
did a
got the
great
ball
job. Well,
out.
thank you for
Sirkin
that.
takes the throw.
Have a
Back to
lovely
Job.
Saturday evening
Job
and
across
weekend.
now
Peter Savage
to
says Sunderland
Hume, back
9
in the middle
QPR
to
0.
Mepham, just in front of the centre circle. Floats it up to
It's been
Sirkin, who
odd.
heads it behind for a goal kick.
It's been odd.
We're into the 5th minute of the 6 being added on. Brighton 2, West Ham 2. Wolves lead Leicester 3-0. The ball with Jamie Cumming placing it on the 6-yard line on the right-hand side for the goal kick for Oxford United. 2-0, the win will seal their place in the Championship next season. And Cumming now with just over a minute left, kicks up into the Sunderland half. Brighton 3, West Ham 2. The ball is put out. It's a throw to Sunderland on their left, but deep inside the Sunderland half. O'Nien to Salis, back to O'Nien, who miscontrols it, and it rolls over his foot for a throw.
Well, Richie says embarrassing.
And that sums up our day,
I'm off fishing, says Martin.
our game
They
today.
barely laid a finger on Oxford this afternoon.
No, we haven't. We've been poor.
It's with Matos. He's pushed over by Alan Brown. It's a free kick to Oxford United on the right-hand side with, I make it 20 seconds remaining. Vaux just rolls it down the right of the penalty area to Tara Best. It's stabbed
Thanks,
out
everybody,
by
for staying.
Sirkin. It's a throw in the corner
putting up with it.
for Oxford United. Only
But I do
seconds
think there'll be a
remain now, the
backlash from the
minimum
supporters
6
after today.
minutes.
Keith Lupton
Oxford
says,
leading
yeah.
2-0, Southampton 1, Fulham 2. And here on the right,
David Green,
well,
you're welcome, mate.
it's
Cheers, Cabby.
over.
See you on
Tim
Saturday.
Robinson
Keep the
blows.
faith. Well, don't
Oxford
forget,
United secure
we've got the Mac and
their
Cabby
place
Dave
in
and
the
Richie show
Championship.
on Monday.
And Sunderland have
So
a
you
lot
can
of
tune
work to
in
do
to that.
ahead of the game against Queen's Park Rangers next week.
Yeah, and you can see what it means.
Well, I've just turned that off now. I cannot be bothered. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Want to say a massive thanks for everybody who's tuned in today, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Saturday because, like I say, hey, we've learned a lot from today, says NM. Yeah, John, at least half these tossers away when the season's finished. Tricia says, thanks for the stream, Cabby. They are a highlight of my week and I really look forward to them. Have a good weekend. You're welcome. Tricia, have a good Saturday evening. Richard says, poor display today. I wouldn't even, it's worse than poor. Cardiff are down, says D Hall. Mental. Dave Thompson says, Cabby watching in Northeast Thailand, mate. We are crap. He says, Regis Debris is crap. Fans, don't buy your season tickets. Promotion my backside. Regis Debris is losing games. Owners don't want promotion. I know, Dave, what you're saying. Best wishes, John73. Thanks a lot, mate. Good to see you and have a good weekend. Have a good one, Revo23. Enjoy your weekend. Same to you, NM. Anytime, mate, you're welcome. Enjoy your weekend. Some days I wish I wasn't a Sunderland supporter, says Ryan. Thanks, Cabby, says Jerry. You're welcome, Jerry. Have a good one. Paul Heron, have a good one to you. Thanks, Daryl Gamer, and all the best. Have a good weekend. Richard says, no desire. Have a good Saturday, peeps. TJ says, what a load of rubbish. None of them deserve to wear the shirt. I know, TJ. Well, that's me off. See you next time, Ryan. Yep, you're welcome. And we'll catch you later. I'll be doing more videos as I always do. And yeah, Sunderland going through the motions.